Don't do edibles, kids. It'll destroy your life. Don't do it. Y'all are infidels. We're burning witches tonight. Not even Smoking the Bear is going to be able to save your ancestors this time, you stupid moron.
Someone in the comments picked him with a band-aid. That was good. I'm sorry, that was fucking good. Anyways.
Well, that's my job as a woman, I think, first and foremost. And then as a writer, I gotta maintain some level of like, making sure that, your place.
Everything that they've done since claiming the PS5 is for hardcore gamers. It's just simply appealed to the casuals.
That's about it. Follow me on Twitter. Preserve film, just like preserving video games. I don't know.
Hunter! What's up? In the White House? Seriously?
Well, Marvel, what Stan Lee, I think, I don't know if it was genius or laziness. It's like, we'll just put them all in one city. We won't even make up a fictionless and we'll just use new.
Fear of the night, what you got coming up for tomorrow?
I'm perfectly sober.
Lies.
Thank you. Are you home? Do you have children? Must not you be their hope? Are there future generations from all of us who have failed them?
And the mom shaming, a term typically used to highlight harsh judgment of birthing people.
Fuck these stupid fucking
Who wrote this shit? Who wrote this shit?
What up, everyone? We are back here Tuesday night, episode 63 of the Ballroom Podcast, and we are here tonight to have a little bit of fun, say our final respects to some people, but we're going to have a good night because we're tossing the script out the window for tonight. Now, partly is due to the reason that it's a slow news week, and there wasn't really much to talk about outside of a few annoying people on, let's just say, high-level Hollywood productions that are making asses out of themselves at the moment. But instead, we're going to go ahead and turn tonight into a positive night, into a fun night for all, and I got my good group of I don't want to say friends because I mean that's a little too attachative, but I mean my good buddies, right? That's how it works? Is that good? That's
group of associates.
That's perfect.
Acquaintances.
All right, acquaintances even sounds even better. That's even less.
These internet hobos I found lingering on Twitter.
The only people on a Tuesday night at this time that have nothing else to do but to be on my show, and that's what I love.
Right.
Our good buddy Cider is back with us here today. How you doing today, Cider?
I'm all right. How about you? Are you doing okay, man?
Hey, I mean, we're just making it another day. That's about much we can do at this point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, good buddy Orange Hat is joining us. What was that, 1776 shirt you're wearing there?
Fresh off the edibles.
Or, from the Hodge twins.
We'll get to that comment here in a second. Cole Classic Cage joining us once again. You're now slowly pulling away from Mr. Rob Motto as the most I think you've only actually missed maybe one or two shows since we started this whole thing. So yeah. Pretty impressive. So
yeah, I do my thing. I like to adhere to my obligations unless something seriously goes down. So
even though I don't get invites to your podcast, even though I'm not even available on
you're
most Thursday nights.
Gamer. Like, bro, you know that you could be like, oh, I'm free. If there's an extra slot to pull up, I don't care, bro.
Mm-hmm. Don't act like you have that many people on your show. You're not better than me. And also joining us here tonight is C.S. Johnson, who now all of a sudden doesn't want to show her face anymore after we bullied her last week and the week before. She might be having an issue with her kids right now, which is why she's not talking to us at the moment. Which does mean I can talk bad about her, and then she has absolutely nothing that she can do to stop me, like whatsoever, to slandering her on my podcast in front of a bunch of people. So there you go.
First off, I stopped playing Sea of Stars for this. Okay, this is
I don't even know what that game is. I'm not even like as a
It's
bit.
a new game. It's a new game. It just dropped. It's kind of inspired by stuff like Chrono Trigger and the Mana 2D Mana games. It's fucking awesome, man.
I was gonna goof on you, but I was like, I literally don't know what that game is. That's how far out of the loop I am right now.
I've never heard of any of the shit you just mentioned. I'm fucking old, man.
Among Us.
Chrono Trigger is pretty damn old.
Okay, you guys want to feel old today? Today I let my kid play Angry Birds for the first time. So.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
One of these days, we got to get all of us together for like an Among Us stream. I don't know exactly how that's going to work out, but we have to do it at least once.
Terribly.
So, yeah, that one's going to be an absolute mess. Maybe even get like Spencer and like a few other like the normies on here to go for that one. That should be a fun one to go to.
Eco Park would even be an even bigger traffic accident.
Oh my god, can you imagine like Nerdigans playing Among Us and like
Great.
Her cat doing all the work.
I could just smell the anxiety from here. But let's go ahead and join our guys in the chat right now. Neozoic joining us. Say greetings from the Barroom Podcast and all the folks. Fun question: what crime drama would you rather watch? Silence of the Lamb or Seven? For me, this is an easy Silence of the Lamb because I actually think that one's actually a good movie, and we can have a controversial argument on that one later on. But that's my go-to here.
Sounds literally fucking insane, but okay.
I haven't seen either of them. I know. Shame on me.
I go with
Seven.
Seven.
What are you gonna pick?
I haven't seen it either.
Seven is awesome.
I like Awful Thing.
No, you're right,
Johnson.
I still haven't watched Barbarella from the last time Fire.
Oh yeah.
I'd probably rather watch Seven because it does give that shot of Gwyneth Paltrow's decapitated head. And I saw Contagion where they used it as a prop in that movie. So I at least would be like, oh yeah, I recognize that. So
did you guys see the trailer for David Fincher's new film, The Killer?
No.
That sounds terrible.
I mean, to be fair, I think David Fincher's a pretty good director, and also Michael Fassbender's in it, so I like Michael Fassbender a lot.
But why isn't Neil Breen on this? That's my
God. One of these days we're gonna have to do a movie night on a Neil Breen movie, and that's just gonna be an absolute.
That'll be the last one.
Exactly. It's gonna be an experience. It's not even gonna be a movie. It says bonus question: what was your favorite Terry Funk Bray Wyatt matches and moments? I will say this: Bray Wyatt. We'll talk about this here just in a second. Bray Wyatt didn't really have any matches that really stood out to me. I think probably his best match was that Shield and Wyatt family tag match from years ago for the Elimination Chamber. But the one moment that Terry Funk that always sticks out to me is if you go back to this is like 1998 at the very start of like the New Age Outlaws. Remember when they put Mick Foley and Terry Funk into the dumpster and then pushed it off the stage? Like that to me always stands out as like a great moment, like after the fact, because it literally went on for like 20 minutes. It's like first they were all like cheering and celebrating, and then like as the show like went on and like the paramedics were like still pulling Terry Funk, you can literally hear Terry Funk screaming from inside the dumpster. By the way, like screaming in pain, and they were like, "Oh wow, we actually really messed these old guys up pretty bad." So that to me always stands out as a great moment. Cassie, being the only wrestling fan here, would you happen to have a comment on this one? Oh, well,
for me, generally speaking, the Bray Wyatt storyline where they actually, had was it the Wyatt family and what's his name, fucking wrestler?
Which one?
Fuck.
No, thanks.
Brain fart. Well, either way, Terry Funk for me specifically is basically Roadhouse. That's my favorite Terry Funk movie. Just kicks the shit out of every fucking money. It's awesome.
we still have Roadhouse up on our Odyssey and our Rumble page. So if you guys haven't seen us do a movie night on that one, it's up on those parts now. Cider, what do you got for Terry Funk?
Wasn't Terry Funk in the match where it was like a pool the whole way around? You remember when they threw Eddie Guerrero into the water? And he got all like upside down, and they were like, he's gonna drown. Somebody needs to go in and get him because his legs came up before his head.
I'm trying to think. It might have been because that would have to be like late 90s WCW, and he was there like 99, like 2000s. I think he was.
I just remember this pool, and I want to say that Terry Funk's the one that like threw Eddie Guerrero into the water, or there was something involving him and the water in that scene because the ring was completely surrounded by water. There was like a gangway into the ring, and they pull it back when the match started. So they were just like on an island in the middle of a pool.
Oh yeah. I would have to look it up. I think I know what you're talking about. I just need to make sure if he was actually there for that one, though. So, who else do we got here tonight? Vanya saying hello to everyone joining us here tonight. Neil Zoic says, rest in peace to Alex Sorkin as well. The original voice of Harley Quinn also passed away this week. Duke Nukem has a question for us. Who's your favorite Tekken fighter? Now, this is going to start some fights here. We're going to get into a little bit of video game discussion here because my favorite Tekken character is Paul Phoenix. And I hate Tekken. I love Tekken, but I also hate Tekken because they've turned this man into a complete joke ever since Tekken 4. And they have not had any redemption for him since. Like, it absolutely infuriates me how somehow this guy went from...
every game. He's in every game, okay? My favorite character is Forrest Law. When the fuck has Forrest Law been in fucking Tekken? It's been like since like the older one. Like if you're going into like it's been a minute, okay? I mean, the martial law is cool, but there's a very distinct difference between martial and Forrest Law. It may not be their look.
Paul Phoenix went from one step away from being ogre to just being like a low tier comedy jobber with the other what was it, Lee or Law, whatever what that character is, the Bruce Lee ripoff. Like that's essentially what they relegated them to ever since. And I'm just like the lack of just the absolute disrespect they've given that character just infuriates me.
King is the best Tekken character. I don't care what anybody
Fuck
has.
you, Brian Steele is.
I don't know. I've been playing King since Tekken 1 on the arcade cabinet at a truck stop. Okay.
I have a seal. I still have my sealed Nina Williams figure from Tekken 3, which is one of my favorite looks of Nina still. So.
The one thing I hated about King is that they made it a mask, and I hated that. I hated when they decided it was a mask and he wasn't just a jaguar-headed man. I just thought that was cool that he was just like a jaguar-headed man that there was a luchador at the same time. It was cool. And in Tekken 1, he had that weird waiter outfit, and I love that still. Where's the red pants, red suspenders, white shirt, black tie, and he just pile drives people.
Now, do you like King? Do you like King better, or do you like Armor King? Because they haven't done Armor King in a while.
I like King better. Armored King always felt like the edgelord because he was the Panther. Yeah. And I always felt like the edgelord character. Like he was like Darth Vader plus
like the Shadow the Hedgehog character.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I should revise my
like Jin Kazama isn't hard enough. We need like an evil king.
I need to... What's that little fucking dinosaur dude that you can earn in fucking Tekken 3?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name. But yeah, that little dude.
That dude was so... It's like, I could kill everyone
Gone?
with this little... Yes!
Oh, right, Gone! The character from the other video game and manga series.
Yeah. He made his way into Tekken 3. And it's like, oh shit, dude. But I never played 4 or any of the other ones after that. I like those stories that they did at the end of each frickin' win. Jin's was frickin' nuts, man, where he just throws his grandfather's head right through a damn castle wall. Yeah, it's like, and it's like, shit.
Like, you needed to be hugged more when you were a kid, didn't you, Jin? Jeez.
Well,
Harang's another character. Harang's another character that I like, but they haven't done anything with him. Like he had like this feud building with like Jin, and then they realized that he couldn't turn into a devil, so it was like, well, I guess you're just gonna be a jobber for the remainder of the series.
Yeah. At the end of 3, he actually goes. Apparently, after he won, he goes to fight Jin because these other guys are trying to kill him. So he kills them, and then he sees Jin start to transform and jump out of there. So he gets a grin on his face like, yeah, I scared your ass off. It's like, no, you didn't. You're a basic bitch.
But yeah, it's so yeah, they have a love-hate relation. But I'll say this just real quick, in case you guys haven't seen this already. These new Mortal Kombat designs, it's like, what are we doing? It feels like they're trying to go out of their way to what in their mind overcorrect Mortal Kombat. What was it, 9? Where they did like the super sexualized costume designs, and now we're just making all the women look like literal ogres. Like we're not even like being remotely subtle with this like anymore. Like I saw the new photos of these women, and I think I said even the point, like I've seen literal crack addicts, like meth addicts, look better than some of the women that they're portraying here on this new. Here it is. Here it's like what is this? Like what in the absolute hell are we doing here? It's like everyone has just like it looks like their face was like chiseled from like granite. Like what is going on here?
Are they
How is it
transgender?
that Melina's the best looking one?
Because her face is covered, you can't see how ugly it is.
They look
Wait,
like
you
they're transgender.
know what's ironic? Melina always kind of tends to be the best looking one, besides in like MK9, where Katana gets the dub, clearly. But yeah, they did all these characters dirty. They look so fucking old.
I mean,
and Dell, man.
Who is that person on the right?
Was it Lee May, right? Yeah, Lee May.
That looks like a He-May.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
It's crazy because Kung Lao's face, Shang Tsung's face, Lee May's face all look the same. So there's that. It's pretty depressing.
Mortal Kombat went to shit after Armageddon.
Yeah, I don't get it because they chose to make sexy femme fatales for like 20 plus years of this, this franchise's history, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, the fans are evil because they wanted all this shit that we gave them, and now we're going to course correct it. It's like, you guys kind of did that in MKX without actually being obnoxious. Like, I think that they definitely toned down MKX with the looks and like the over revealing clothing, and I think in a way that didn't bother me at all personally. It's when they went into MK11 and started bitching and whining, and then made the characters look completely like worth rejecting.
Horrendous.
Yeah, like they really just went all in on just not just doing it, but also protesting in the process. So
Mortal Kombat: Crisis of Infinite Mids.
Yeah. I'm not getting the game.
Tanya looks like she's ready to join the Dahomey.
I mean, they look horrific. So this is clearly what they've been trying to quote unquote course correct for a number of years, because there was a lot of let's just say certain weirdos who were upset. It's like, oh, this is too sexy and whatnot. Keep in mind, we're talking about an ultra violent video game where you literally rip people's hearts out and then eat them. But clearly, you can't have boobs in that same video game because that's a step too far. And apparently now you can't even have violence in Mortal Kombat game because they're talking about adding options to get rid of that or tone down the violence as well. Which is like, then why are we even here? Like, what are we doing here at this point?
Bro, you know how many people have fought me tooth and nail over that shit? It's so ridiculous. It's like, this is over 30-year-old franchise. Why is violence, blood, and gore still up for debate? Without that, there is no Mortal Kombat. I don't imagine the stream, like they might implement a streamer mode. They haven't confirmed it yet, but they've considered it. Why implement a streamer mode that gets rid of fatalities, blood, and gore, and that be the most seen part of Mortal Kombat? That essentially makes Mortal Kombat inferior. That's the one thing that is the drawing focus of Mortal Kombat. It's always been, because Mortal Kombat has never had the best fighting mechanics, has never had the best anything fundamentally when it comes to fighting games. It's all about the blood and gore.
Actually, when they first started, they kind of went revolutionary with the real people filming the fighting moves and stuff at the time.
Sprites. I'm talking about fundamental gaming mechanics. It's never been anything necessarily special.
Not to mention, Mortal Kombat also is the reason why they have a rated M for mature.
Go ahead, Cider.
Well, I just want to point out that the reason this is happening is a little bit more surprising than you'd think. Over, of course, in Japan, where the mother company of Mortal Kombat lives, the female age rate is rising dramatically, the average female age rate. So this is why most of the characters are starting to appear in their late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s. Is that this is the majority of the demographic that even the male consumers are now seeing in Japan. And so they are technically trying to make these women sexy. They're just soccer
hoping that
moms now,
the
and
people
that's
are
They
playing it
hoping
like
that the
in
people who are
50s.
doing this are just blind now. Is that
Well-
what they're trying to do?
well,
or hoping
no,
that they're in
it's-
their 50s or 60s or 70s.
Japan's been doing this thing recently where the media has been trying to align itself with reality a little more. If you have like a little bit here, I can explain it in detail. But the gist of it is that marriages are falling apart because men and women both have problems. But mainly, the men have a problem when their teenage wives are no longer teenage wives. They get married when they're 19, and by 29, she's not little Keiko from math class anymore. She's had a couple of kids and, you know, a few more curves on the mountain, Fuji, if you will.
I mean,
Some men aren't afraid of rock climbing.
well, you see, we can get into this. We can get into this, right? Because this fascinating thing has happened with them, okay? So the men say they have erectile dysfunction. They're not attracted to their older partners, who are like 32. So these women go sex crazy and they go out. So in Japan right now, male prostitutes are the larger population of prostitutes, okay? But it's not a bad thing. These guys are actually championed, okay? Because these older men, along with not liking older women, they aren't skilled in bed. They were virgins when they got married, so they had no clue what the hell they were doing. Wiener in the taco, right? That's it. We're done. Okay, bye. I got to get to work. And so these male prostitutes, these young guys, they're more attractive to the women around their own age that they would marry when they retire from being a male prostitute, because they demonstrate they like older women. So the marriage has a success rate of like, oh, so when I have his children and we have a family and I'm not little Keiko from math class anymore, he's still going to find me attractive. And B, they have experience in bed. It's the wildest thing right now, but being a male prostitute guarantees you marriage in Japan right now. A happy marriage at that.
They're all bitching in Japan about this shit, yet they're the ones who came up with the most twisted fucking adult content out there.
Yep.
Yeah. It's almost as if it's a symptom of a much bigger problem. But yeah, we'll just leave
It's
that
like,
way.
you guys do realize you are pushing the boundaries of even now today's taboos.
Yeah.
And you've been pushing those boundaries ever since the fucking late 90s, early 2000s.
It's
Probably
crazy,
even
like,
sooner,
where we're at.
probably even earlier than that.
Spencer just mentioned it too. I mean, we're talking about a franchise here in Mortal Kombat that literally fought Congress in the 90s because the first Mortal Kombat game was deemed too violent to be released. And that was Mortal Kombat 1, the actual Mortal Kombat 1, back in the days on like the Genesis and the Nintendo era. And they have to go to Congress to fight those labels. Now we've gone so full circle that they're censoring themselves intentionally. And,
I mean,
Duke Nukem, just real quick, Duke Nukem says that there's going to be a watered down Street Fighter. Street Fighter still looks better than Mortal Kombat now.
It's not going to be a watered down Street Fighter. People may love or hate Street Fighter, but Street Fighter is more depthful mechanically and actually, at least judging from 11, I think MK1 is going to play better than 11, but Mortal Kombat 11 is really shit. In every perspective, including mechanics wise. People that play fighting games, they don't really like Mortal Kombat 11 because it has zero depth. But we have to point at the real problem and why this is happening. It's because YouTube has gotten so over the top with censoring violence to the point where now all these video games like Doom, Mortal Kombat, etc., they're going to struggle to be viewed on YouTube. It's hard. If you're a content creator, you are getting fucked. Them implementing a streamer mode for YouTubers, it's not going to help in the long run. Fucking speak out. Stop being the fucking cowards that you are, NRS. You guys have been known
iconically for standing up for artistic integrity, artistic freedom, because your product is iconic for literally going against the grain. It's time for you to speak up now more than ever, because censorship is making a comeback. YouTube is a huge problem and is the biggest perpetrator right now. In the very least, promote alternatives, Kick, Twitch, even, because at least they're chilled back on actual gaming content and let gamers play games. But here we are.
The people who fought in the 90s are probably dead or replaced by their real world counterparts. So I also think they're probably just a lot more lazy this year.
I mean,
Ed Boon's a fucking sellout. He's one of the co-creators of Mortal Kombat. He's still there, and guess what? He's a fucking sellout cuck bitch. It is what it is.
Fun thing about Mortal Kombat back in the 90s, if it wasn't for games like Mortal Kombat, chances are I would have probably shot up a school, because this was a game. Because I was heavily bullied in school. Just to clarify, folks, I was very much heavily bullied in school.
I believe that too.
And if it wasn't for games like Mortal Kombat, where I could literally take out my frustration on a video game character, I would have had a probably much different future. So when everybody is always yelling about, oh, these games are super violent and they're going to lead to kids creating these horrifying scenarios, no, they're actually going to prevent your kids from doing these horrifying scenarios. It's because they're allowed to have that outlet. They're allowed to have that ability to release their anger in an environment that's not doing any real harm.
It's at this time that Society Reviews and the Barroom Podcast would like to remind viewers at home that the statements made by the panel members and perhaps a channel owner do not respect or whatever. Just don't take it seriously, okay? Don't report the stream and be a dick, all right? That'd be a dick move. Don't do that.
Or as I was going to say...
retarded? So I know you're not retarded, but what are you, Down syndrome?
Jesus. So we have to talk about a few somber issues here before we can get to the fun here on this show. So the first one we're going to talk about, exactly, right? The great jump off point for that one is we're going to start off with talking about the death of WWE's Bray Wyatt that happened last week. We were doing a show, me, Spencer, and John were on DWD Pro last Thursday, and literally as we were live on the show, we had got the news. We had sent out the tweet, Triple H confirming that William Rotunda, also known as Bray Wyatt, had tragically passed away. And it was kind of a shock for a lot of people because we hadn't seen Bray Wyatt on television for many, many months. What happened was that he had a match with LA Knight at the Royal Rumble back in January. It wasn't a very well-received match. I'll just go ahead and put that out there. But afterwards, he was supposed to be shifting to a feud of Bobby Lashley. And then all of a sudden, he's just gone off of television. And there was no explanation about why he was gone off television. There was a lot of rumors and hearsay, but nobody exactly knew what was going on. But we found out last week that all of a sudden he just suddenly had died, and it's weird because there was reports going on before this whole thing happened that he was dealing with some very serious health issues, but once again, no one was exactly telling us what the situation was. So I'll go ahead and just read a little bit here. 3-time WWE champion Bray Wyatt dies from a reported heart attack that he suffered at the age of 36. This was announced on the 24th, so like I said, just last week. Real name Wyndham Lawrence Rotunda passed away. So Triple H here, the COO of the company, had made the announcement saying he just received a phone call from Hall of Famer Mike Rotunda, who you guys may know as IRS, the father of Bray Wyatt, said he had unsuspectedly passed away today. His thoughts and prayers were with the family and asked for respect of privacy at the time. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful then came out a little bit while later, said that he confirmed that the cause of death was a heart attack, saying that he was having some heart-related issues throughout the last few months. They said that there was related to COVID. They said that he had apparently gotten COVID earlier this year, and that may have exacerbated some issues. So we really don't know exactly the whole timeline and how this whole thing played out because we weren't told anything up to this point. So we're still finding out bits and pieces. There's going to be bits and pieces reported throughout the course of the next few months here, but that's pretty much the story here. So you had a guy who, if you guys hadn't been aware of his WWE career, he had joined WWE towards the late 2000s as Husky Harris. He was a member of the original NXT group that feuded with John Cena back in those times. He went down to Florida Championship Wrestling, pretty much reinvented himself as the Bray Wyatt character. That was sort of this southern, cult leader type character, a smooth talker, knew how to get people on his side. He created the Wyatt family stable. That went on for a few years, won the title a couple of times. And then about 2019, he decides to reinvent himself as the Fiend and essentially do like a horror type character here where he puts on a mask. He does like the Firefly Funhouse stuff. This stuff gets super over with the crowd. He becomes one of their top merch sellers around this time as well. Very popular character at the time. Then everything started to fall apart a little bit when, obviously a lot more, but start to fall apart when you see here Luke Harper, obviously his real name, John Huber, passed away in 2020 in kind of a similar circumstance. He was taken off of TV. Nobody was really told what was going on with him. And then we found out a few months later that he had died. He was dealing with some kind of a lung issue that took his life there. And obviously these two were very, very close. So the death of Huber here hit hard with Bray Wyatt. After WrestleMania 37, I believe, which was Bray's last WrestleMania appearance, a few months afterwards, he was let go from the company. He took a year break from WWE. Triple H brought him back at the end of last year when he took over from Vince McMahon. And it seems like he was trying to work like this new character with, Uncle Howdy. He was trying to do a little bit of a parallel of what he was doing with The Fiend, but the feud never really took off, and we didn't get to see enough of where he wanted to go with this whole thing. So it's all been kind of a mystery since then. And as I said, he's gone off of television for a number of months. Nobody really knew what happened to him. And all of a sudden, people just got the news that he had sadly passed away. And this is where we're at right now, solely. So, Cassie, I know you're more of a recent wrestling fan, or at least a WWE fan, so you're more familiar with Bray Wyatt than some of the other guys here. So I'll go ahead and start off with you. Just what are your thoughts on the sudden passing of Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, I mean, I've been knowing that he's, since Brody Lee had passed, I heard that behind the scenes, he kind of was severely messed up from that mentally. That was like his brother, not his literal brother, but they did a lot of time together in WWE, coming up together and shit. And they're both very talented, hard workers in the ring, like from what I've seen of them. And that was jarring with the way AEW pushed, now pushes, been pushing Brody Lee's son, was a really cool little thing, to see his kid after, his passing being taken care of and being, a draw to AEW, a little kid, he's a young guy. And that was really cool to see. And, but from everything I heard with Bray after, one of his best friends passing, he just went down, went into shits from that. And I didn't really know of any specific health situation that he had been going through. I hadn't been keeping up with him, or with WWE the past, year or so.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know that he's been out, and I thought for the most part it was for mental health issues. I didn't know that it was actual physical health deterioration. So to hear that he had passed and it was from a heart attack is jarring. It's totally caught me off guard. A lot of people that watch wrestling, that I have a lot of friends that are into wrestling, are truly, just distraught by it. We got caught sideways, bro. Nobody saw it.
It caught everyone off guard. So I mean, like I said, it's the same thing that happened with Luke Harper a few years ago. Harper had just went to AEW. He was becoming a big star there. Then all of a sudden, he just came off of television for a while. No one had seen him in a few months, so people started asking questions like, "Hey, what happened to Huber? What happened to Brody Lee?" Nobody knows what happens, and then all of a sudden, oh, he's dead. And it's like, well, when no one is really in the know of what's going going on, when you hear an announcement like that, it keeps everyone off guard. And it is weird too, because what happened was that 2 weeks before his death, there was a report coming out there that the reason why he was off was because he was dealing with a serious health issue, and they basically told everyone that it could have been a life or death matter, right? But the way that they portrayed the story is that he was seemingly coming on the other side of it. And then I mentioned in the article too that Mike, his father, who like I say, you know, is IRS, he had did an interview literally 10 days before Bray died, and it was responding to that report about him going through a serious health issue. And he kind of downplayed it by saying that, hey, don't believe everything that you hear like on the internet, whatnot, you know, he'll be back soon, you know, he's already working on like a comeback now. So the way that it was being reported just 2 weeks before he died is that, hey, look, he was dealing with something serious, but he's on the other side now, he's working on his way back. And then 10 days later he dies unexpectedly. So something was clearly going on behind the scenes that, you know, the public wasn't being told about, and now this is essentially where we're at now.
I think it's worth stating that, when you're dealing with a loved one, the last thing you want to think is that they're going to die. So like, I would think that maybe he was thinking this is going to get better. Like, obviously, like that's the last thing you want to think, like my family member is toast, and, I've been in a situation where like I had a close family member and it's like things are going bad, but you're thinking they're going to get better. One little win is like, oh man, things are turning around. So I understand that perspective. Obviously this is, 36, 37 years old. The last thing I'm thinking is that he's going to, sadly pass away. So that, I understand the sentiment. You're thinking things are going to get better. Unfortunately, they just didn't. So.
Yeah. So a question here, like this has always been like a question here, is like, they said that it was COVID related, but was it really the vaccine? Nobody knows for certain whether he got the shot or not. All I can say is based on what I know about Bray, it didn't seem like he would be a type of guy who would have gotten the vaccine, but like I said, we don't know for certain whether he did or not.
Well, isn't that a requirement though of WWE?
That's what I was going to bring up. Now, I know it was a requirement, but you have to remember that Bray Wyatt was fired from WWE before they had mandated that vaccine requirement. Because remember, they got rid of him shortly after WrestleMania before the whole vaccine thing got created. So he wasn't really around for that. So he wasn't like one of these guys who had to get it in order to stay in WWE. So if he had got it on his own time, I don't know. But it feels weird because let's say that it was COVID related and he got like a bad case of it that affected his heart. This did happen to Keith Lee a couple of years ago. If you remember, Keith Lee got it. He was like one of the first few people who got it COVID. And he apparently got it pretty bad to where he was having heart issues as well. Now, he came on the other side of it. He wasn't out nearly as long as, Bray Wyatt was. But Keith Lee's a much bigger dude than Bray Wyatt is size-wise, right? Like, Bray's always had issues with, like, his weight. There's times when you can see that he's clearly let himself go. Then there's also been times when he looks like he's in great shape, too. But it's just never really been consistent. So, like I said, it's hard to tell exactly the timeline of all this because they're saying that it was COVID related, but it's like, well, when did he get COVID? Did he get COVID at the beginning of the year? Was it later? No one really knows any of those details, and those details probably won't come out till many months or many weeks down the line here. So that's just all the information that we have on it. Like I said, they didn't even tell us that he was sick up until a couple of weeks ago when it got thrown out there that, hey, he was dealing with something really serious. So it's hard to tell exactly based on that what was going on here. And a quick question from Neo. He asked, do you think WWE will use Wyatt's death for storyline and merchandise purposes like they did with Eddie Guerrero at the time? I don't think so because, by the way, this is the first active roster death that WWE has dealt with since Chris Benoit in 2007. So it's been a while since someone who was actively on the roster has passed away. And I don't see them doing that with Eddie this time around because it just wouldn't feel right, especially with the circumstances going into like his death. Because Eddie, the reason why Eddie was such a beloved character was because everyone like loved Eddie. Eddie had great charisma. Everyone in the crowd loved Eddie. Everyone in the back loved Eddie. So when he died, it hit a lot of people hard. And not to mention, they were trying to like essentially help his family at the time, which is why Vicky Guerrero got hired as an on-screen talent because they were trying to like help out his family or whatnot. But I don't see them doing that to Bray Wyatt this time around. I think they're going to do what they can to help his family, JoJo, and his other kids as well. But I just don't see him because they don't want to be put in the position where people are going to accuse them of, essentially profiting off of somebody's death or something like that. So I don't see them doing that this time around either. But
I hope not.
yeah. Any of you guys have any thoughts regarding the situation? I know you guys maybe not the biggest current wrestling fans. You might not know a lot about them, but just based on what we talked about here.
Well, I will say my condolences to those who have passed in the WWE or whatever, and wrestling's fake.
I think death is always hard, and unexpected deaths are even worse. So it's a hard time, I imagine, for the family especially.
The saddest thing really is the fact that he leaves behind two little babies, little toddlers, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that really hurts, man, because he's put out pictures with them, and I think you could tell that fatherhood was something he was digging, man. So sad.
So moving on to this story, we had another death in the pro wrestling industry, which was Terry Funk. Now, this was a much different circumstance here. Terry Funk, as you guys know, pro wrestling legend. He's been around for so long. He was one of those guys who we kind of made fun of for a while because he was always like the old guy in the wrestling business. Even when he was sort of in his prime, he was still like the old guy in the wrestling business. Like, you talk about going back to when he was in Roadhouse and stuff like that. But Terry Funk was a guy who just managed to stay around for many, many years, and people loved him no matter where he was, whether it was ECW, WCW, WWF, NWA during those times. He's been around the block, but he passed away at the age of 79. He was dealing with some health issues towards the last couple of years in his career, though. But you're talking about a career that started in National Wrestling Alliance in 1975, going to ECW. He was very pivotal in ECW's rise because remember their first pay-per-view that they had, I believe, was Barry Legal. They put the belt of the ECW championship on Terry Funk on that show because he was a veteran, he had a name, he had legitimacy, and that's what ECW was looking for at that time. He wrestled for 52 years throughout his entire career here. Like I said, if you're an old school wrestling fan, a fan of the 80s, the 90s, even the 2000s, you know who Terry Funk is. So a lot of people came out who had known him for many years. People like Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Jerry the King Lawler. Everyone gave their condolences to him. Mick Foley, who we talked about a little bit earlier on as well. So like I said, this is not nearly as tragic as the Bray Wyatt situation because you're just basically dealing with a guy who did die of old age, but it is another wrestling death in and of itself here. So Cider, do you have any thoughts on the level of Terry Funk?
Well, like I said, I'm not sure that I remember him clearly, but as legends go in these it's hard to call entertainment. Not that it isn't. It's just it's less of a sport, less of an entertainment. It's kind of its own genre. And so Terry was part of that. Maybe not as big as Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. But he worked under, 3 different regimes over the years?
Many.
At least that, anyway. And that's not easy. You see the transition that WCW guys had going into WWF, and that was not easy for them. They were not cut out for that kind of showmanship. But I don't remember Terry ever, missing a beat there. He was like Goldberg. He just moved right into the spirit of it and kept on going with his shit,
Yep. They did it for many, many years, too.
Yeah. Probably longer than you should have, Yes. It seems to be the case with these
that was the other thing with Terry Funk. With Terry Funk, there's always that running joke that wrestlers never truly retire. And Terry Funk has had to have no less than 50 retirement matches in his entire life, right? I think the last 25 years of his career was basically one retirement match after another, only for him to come back. So we got to a point where his body literally said, enough, you're not doing this anymore. So
yeah.
Yep.
Cassie, what you thought about Terry Funk?
I can't help but think of him losing the fucking title to Bishop. Oh man, that was terrible. But yeah, I mean, he is, very integral part to wrestling, hardcore wrestling.
Yep.
I mean, he's made quite a few appearances in film as well. I think that he has a lot to leave behind, a lot of memorable moments. Like I said, I loved him in Roadhouse. He's like just seeing him throw dudes around in a freaking bar is freaking awesome, and I told my dad, Terry Funk died, and he's like, who's that? I'm like, the dude, you remember the dude in Roadhouse? He's like, oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, but it sucks to see happen, but he lived a full life.
That was another wrestler entirely. That was a wrestler that Eric Bischoff spent way too much money on because apparently he was a big fan of Kiss, or somebody in the back was a big fan of Kiss. So that was a wrong move there. But I wanted to play this one, just a classic Terry Funk promo. This is from Maple Leaf Wrestling, so you have to go back way in the day to pull this one out. I know.
Was a dirt.
Oh, pull it back.
My daddy was a dirty, ornery, dusty wrestling cowboy from Texas. That's right. And my mama, where'd she come from? She came from North Bay, out of the woods, the North Woods. And my mama was from where men are men and so are the women. And they got together, and what did they produce? They produced a North American baby. That's right. They produced a Canuck. A Canuck. That's a Canadian kook. They call me the craziest, wildest man in professional wrestling. Well, I'm not afraid of Roddy Piper. I'm not Ric Flair, who don't have enough guts to get in a ring with a wild man, because I am proud of what I am. I know that Roddy Piper says, I do exactly as I want to, when I want to, where I want to. I do exactly what I want to, too. And I'll stand up for my flag, and I'll stand up for the Canadian flag, and I'll stand up for what I believe is right in. Now, Roddy Piper doesn't realize what he's going into the ring with. He's going in the ring with a man that's meaner than a rattlesnake and tougher than shoe leather. And I promise you one thing, that I am crazier than a beaver in heat. And I've got teeth. And if it's necessary to use those teeth on Roddy Piper, well, I'll use those teeth. But if the man wants to wrestle, which I doubt if he knows very little of, well, that's exactly what I'll do, is I'll wrestle Roddy Piper. I'll match him hold for hold. I'll tear him limb from limb. I'll pull the eyeballs from his head. I'll beat on his head until his brain's like marshmallows and his eyeballs are jelly at Maple Leaf Gardens, May the 15th.
I'm willing to bet that Roddy Piper in heaven smacked him with a frickin' bagpipe as soon as he got there.
I mean, you don't get promos like that anymore. That's a relic from a bygone era of professional wrestling. But,
when they were still trying to figure out that promo thing. But it also felt kind of like a used car sales thing for a minute there. I was like, are you going to tell me about a Honda you got a good deal on now? Or
Hey, Steve, good to see you, buddy.
But hey, he sold me on the match, so that's all I gotta say there, right? So,
come on down to Crazy Terry's Discount Cars.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Remember those old 30-minute live car ads that they used to do Saturday morning when the local dealership bought airtime, and it's okay, you got 20 minutes and we're live, so go out there and sell some cars. So, yeah.
Hey there, I'm Fred from Coastal Motors. I'll tell you all about these cars we got here. Got 20 minutes. We're gonna tell you everything on the lot. Here we go.
And then they have to get the dude's wife out there to help him move the cars, because literally the only people he had available was his own family.
Right, and she's got the window down, hanging out the window, waving her arm like she's a Barbie doll or something like that. It was the goofiest thing, especially when the convertibles came around.
It is crazy shit back in the day. That's what made wrestling fun to watch. Nowadays, it's all just fucking... I don't even care.
CM Punk beating up people smaller than him on AEW. Yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on.
We need more homemade TV. I think that's what I'm hearing here. Is we need more homemade TV.
We need more Stone Cold Stunners against idiots. That's what we need.
So last but certainly not least here, our final honor here is the great Bob Barker, who passed away at the age of 99. It sucks when somebody gets that close to 100, but just like misses like the cut. You almost feel like that he should have been one of the guys that should have at least made it to 100. But Bob Barker, everyone knows as the famed host of The Price is Right. I don't care who you are, what part of the country here in the United States you grew up with. You know who Bob Barker is because he was either your mother or your grandmother's favorite game show host. You probably watched a whole bunch of these things back in the day. But yeah, passed away at the age of 99. I mean, there's so many things that people like know him from. The whole bit with him and Happy Gilmore with Adam Sandler is still one of the funniest bits in all of comedies. Probably his best, Adam Sandler's best bit, where he's literally golfing with Bob Barker, and Bob Barker just kicks the absolute crap out of him. It's still one of the funniest things like to this day, but everyone knows him as a guy who's been around for decades. I've never heard anyone had anything bad to say about him before. He was beloved by so many people. I was even saying, like, beforehand, when he finally did retire from The Price is Right, it's like, dude, just end this show. It's like, what? I get it. Like, I'm not even, like, slamming Drew Carey, but it's like, Bob Barker's The Price is Right. Like, what are we doing still trying to do, like, a second tier Price is Right bit on the tier without him on it? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. But he passed away, like I said. He fortunately lived a great life, lived a long life as well. So not too much negative to say here, but just kind of paying respect. So any of you guys have any memories of Bob Barker that you want to share here?
I told you this back in before the stream, but it's good to put on here. I was at the dentist when I was like, I don't know, like 9 or 10, and this guy was gonna spin the wheel, and he's like, "All right, so do you want to spin the wheel?" He's like, "Well, since you beat up Happy Gilmore, I think you might as well spin it." It was just freaking hilarious. And and Bob's like, "Yes, I did beat up Happy Gilmore, but unfortunately, I can't spin my own wheel." I mean, it was just fun to see, and I believe I had only seen that movie like once or twice before that, so it's like, oh my god, that is so hilarious.
Yeah,
it was just a fun time, man.
Well, I had seen Happy Gilmore for the very first time about a few years back. It was a benefit for the local hockey team here in El Paso, the Rhinos, and we got to that part, and yeah, the audience absolutely loved it. They loved that part because it really is. Even people who've never seen the movie probably know that scene because it's so well played. And like I said on Twitter, what really makes it funny is that we know his persona and he's being himself, and he's perfectly in on the joke, and it's hilarious because he's so much older than Adam Sandler, and he's beating him up. That's what makes it great. And you think about the impact The Price is Right has had. Some of those expressions are part of the culture. You know, come on down, and you know when you hear the music and the people kind of running around hysterically, and of course I like to say when I'm trying to guess a price, $1. And sometimes
you're that guy.
Yes, I am that guy. I'm the one who always been $1. So, and surprisingly enough, there were some future famous people that appeared there. I mean, Aaron Paul, when he went by his actual name, because Aaron Paul, I think Paul is his middle name. Vanna White was also there, I think, at one point. Mm-hmm. And of course, even now, people still remember Barker's Beauties. I don't know if they still have Barker's Beauties, I mean, or the equivalent. I don't know, Carrie's Cuties. I don't know if that works, but yeah,
I don't know if that's legal anymore.
But people, yeah, I mean, I remember things like Barker's Beauties, and then that little mountain climber, where you're trying to always make sure that you don't go over. Those are things, yeah. Those are all things that just seeped into the American culture, and that was Bob Barker. Even when he would end the show with, have your pet spayed or neutered. I did, as a child, I did not know what that meant, but he always ended it that way.
And then you found out afterwards. It was like, oh God.
Yeah. It's like, adios mío.
There are ways to explain that to children that aren't.
Yeah, mommy, what does spay and neutered mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, dear.
Yeah. Ask Bob Barker. I'm sure he'll tell you. And of course, that big, one of the big things is like a new car. Everyone, a new car.
So you
The third
realize how much you're
showcase
going to have to
showdown of
pay
the week.
for it afterward.
I actually have my kids play the prices right at the grocery store when we go, and whoever gets closest to the actual cost of the groceries is like the winner.
It actually
Well,
is
they
very
win.
educational when you get down to what it's trying to talk to you about.
They get to feel morally and factually superior to the other one.
For about 10 minutes.
I know Bob Barker a little differently than most people. I don't know him personally or anything. We didn't bump into each other in the woods or anything like that.
Like we go back in the day.
Yeah, me and Bob in the trenches, But no, like as a kid, you see him on TV, especially when you end up staying home from school because you're sick, and it's like the cure-all for whatever's wrong with you when the Price is Right theme starts playing. But Bob Barker put a lot of money into the Save the Whales project that takes place in the Southern Pacific down in the Antarctic Oceans. You might remember the Sea Shepherd, Whale Wars from Discovery. Bob put millions of dollars into their project of basically chasing the Japanese whalers out of the Antarctic Oceans. And so there's a ship named after him that patrols those oceans and harangues the Japanese whaling ships still, called the Bob Barker. And it is a No, it's not a USS. Nope. Can't do that and wage war against the Japanese. It's can't do that.
I mean, you can, but you don't want to.
SS Bob Barker.
It's a ship, but so they.
Go ahead, Cider. Go ahead with what you were saying.
Well, those people were kind of dicks. The people on both sides of that problem were dicks, and he pulled his funding after they got way too aggressive with the Japanese and started ramming their ships and stuff like that. Guy almost got killed. So, because Bob's like, we just want to make sure they're uncomfortable with what they're doing. We don't want to kill anybody. That's defeating the point of what we're doing. If we're here to save the whales, that doesn't mean we have to kill people to do it. So they, after one of the more experimental ships they were using to harangue the Japanese got sunk, Bob pulled his funding from it. He said, you keep the ship, name it whatever you like, but you're a little out there for what I'm up to. And they've been like on a steady decline since then. So I know Bob is a humanitarian up there with Captain Kirk trying to save the whales.
Yeah, I have a question, Cider. I was listening in on my way here, and on one of those Japanese ships was Keiko from math class on that ship as well.
No, they only have one female on board, and she's in charge of speaking English to the assailants.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, yeah, just making sure because Keiko gets around, from what I understand.
Well, apparently. That's the male prostitutes.
Well, I was like, I found out in reading the obituary that he had a long-standing feud with Betty White about humanitarian things. I got a good chuckle out of that because Betty White died at 99 too. So I was like,
and yeah, she was like a couple of weeks short of 100, and he was about 4 months, I believe, short of 100.
Look, who wants to outlive being able to play with Legos? I mean, I'm sure Bob looked at the calendar and he was like, well, this is it. I can't play with Legos anymore. I might as well die.
That's the real problem in today's society. You don't make Legos for LPL.
Hey, you can trace the downfall of society when they stop doing the Legos. So there you go. Legos.
Well, no, it's $3 to $99 is what it says right on the package. $3 to $99. Bob is like, fuck, I can't play with Legos anymore. It's time to go.
It's over.
You need to get you need to make a form of elderly safe, super elderly safe Legos.
They have large Lego blocks for really small kids. They should do something like maybe soft for the elderly. That's
magnetic.
Where you want to go. Yes,
they just go together for them. They're like, oh, well, that was.
Or I mean, was he not allowed at Legoland? Is there an age limit there? Because
probably.
I like Legoland. He could get on that little roller coaster that was really gentle.
But at 100 years old, you can't. They're like, up, sorry.
But what was the feud exactly over? I mean, what was it? What was it? What did the feud actually entail? Why were they feuding?
Okay. So Betty White and Bob Barker were feuding because, like, at one point, they were fighting over the fate of this elephant. Like, he wanted it to move to a larger reserve because it was in a really small enclosure, and he wanted it to go free, and she wanted it just to be moved to a bigger pasture. And she ultimately ended up winning, so we never forgave her.
I thought you were going to say she wanted it to be a pair of shoes. That
Before there was Carol and Tiger King, there was Bob Barker.
Weren't times so much simpler?
Well, you want to see how simple times actually work, because I figured that, here, we had a few people who died this week, so I say let's turn let's say throw the script out the window and have a little bit of fun here. Who wants to watch some old episodes of The Price is Right? Now, I'm talking about old episodes of The Price is Right. We're talking about 70s? Black hair Bob Barker, Price is Right.
Oh, when he was still dyeing his hair or not?
Oh,
damn.
I'm going back to
so, does it go back to black and white? Is that far back?
Wow. Well, copyright's probably still active.
Yeah, I mean, we did some copyright check-ins on these ones. These ones are good because they're so far back that even Paramount can't copyright claim them. So,
damn.
So let's go ahead.
The dawn of time.
Exactly right. So let's go ahead.
Can't you catch them on like the Game Show Network?
Is the Game Show Network even still a thing?
Yes.
Pluto TV has like 2 channels dedicated to The Price is Right. Bob Barker, entire. Yeah, it's an awesome app. Pluto TV is amazing. It's like essentially cable without the filler. So
that was quite a Freudian slip there, Cassie. The
What did I
price
do?
is white.
The Price is White.
Holy shit.
That was quite a slip.
And with that segue, let's get right into it.
Wow.
So this one,
I didn't say it, but hey, if that's what they heard.
That was her Italian side speaking out.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Maybe you guys just heard it. That's more on you.
So this first episode goes all the way back to 1974 for reference here. So yeah, you're going to see a whole lot of not modern stuff in this one. So here we go.
A fortune and fabulous prizes.
What are you talking about, Jacob? This looks like 2023.
Yeah, exactly.
The Price is Right.
These people are literally your grandparents, by the way, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, the theme song is a little different. Not as enthusiastic.
Yeah, it's not as fanfare.
Susie Gatewood, come on down.
Just look at her hair. That tells you everything you know.
Come on down. You are the first 4 contestants.
We are having The Price is Right. Ah, there it is. We are having The Price is Right live in El Paso.
And now here's the star of The Price is Right, Bob Barker.
Oh wow, he actually ran up there. Nice.
Yeah, he had a little peppermint step in 74.
Yes, sir. It's time for The Price is Right, and that means it's time to start taking contestants right out of this studio audience and giving them a chance to win thousands and thousands of dollars worth of prizes playing our pricing games. And here we go. Here is the first item up for bids on The Price is Right.
It's carpeting.
If you ever want to see just how bad inflation has screwed us over the last 50 years, go back and watch an old episode of The Price
Play
is Right.
carpet and game pieces, an exciting game board for both teenagers and adults, designed in today's brilliant colors. Games people play. It's the fun carpet that's absolutely jorking.
Now, we round off our retail prices to the nearest dollar, so give me your bids in dollars only, please. One bid from each of you on that carpeting. The one of you who bids nearest to the retail price without going over wins the carpeting and wins the chance to come up on stage and play one of those pricing games I was talking about. Vicky, what's your bid?
404.
Speak into your microphone, please.
404.
$404. Susie?
300.
$300 even. Judy, give me your bid.
210.
$210. All right, Charlotte.
320.
$320. And the actual retail price is $404.
Holy shit.
What? Wow.
Nice.
Got it right on the dot?
Right on the dot. Nice.
Is that like
This must have been way before they even instituted that rule.
And that gives you a chance to play our high-low game. Now you're going to play it with the products that we have displayed
see him
right
grab her?
here.
Like, no,
and Johnny, will you describe those products for her?
Right, Bob. Grease relief from Texsize. The
If she
degreaser
gets
for
the
everyday
price of
kitchen
this
grease, as well as laundry grease and grime, gets all
We're gonna have
household
some
grease out of your
questions
house. Aqua Filter, the water-activated cigarette filter, removes an average of
okay. I don't
75% of
think
tar and
those
nicotine.
are.
Aqua
Wow,
Filter
the
for
things
you or
people
someone you
decided
love.
to win back
Alpin,
in
a
the day.
great-tasting natural breakfast cereal made from an old Swiss recipe full of good things from the good earth. Heinz
those products
Worcestershire
still around?
sauce, unbeatable flavor at a sensible price at great taste counts in your book. Count on it when using Heinz Worcestershire sauce. Nescafe instant coffee with its big dark chunks and
I've
flavor,
got
real
to
coffee
finish
flavor,
my
Nescafe.
coffee.
And a book on pet care from the Friskies
I wonder if you
Pet
can
Food
find any of
Division
these
of
things on-
Carnation Company. The dog you care for, helpful,
I know,
informative, a complete
Worcestershire
guide to the
sauce.
proper care of your dog. Huh?
Now, Vicky, you've been watching The Price is Right, haven't you? You know how we play the high-low game?
Yes.
What do I want you to do?
Pick the 3 highest products.
That's right.
sounds
You
nervous.
pick the 3 highest priced
Well,
products.
this
Are you
is the
all right,
most
Vicky?
attention she's
Yes.
ever had in her life,
You sound as if
man.
you're all choked
She
up over
probably
something.
like doesn't get out of the house much, dude.
Does your
Does
voice
this
a
lady look
housewife.
like she has a job?
No.
Well, it is 75,
This is
so
supposed
probably
to be
be
a
more
real
likely to have a
happy show.
housewife in that era.
Come over here now, Vicky, and tell me, I'm happy, Bob.
I'm happy.
That's good.
This
That's
could turn
good.
into a
I do
horror
want you to
movie
pick the
very
3
fast.
highest priced products. Then I'll check the price
Tell me
tags of
that.
the other 3 products, and each of them is lower priced than the 3 products, the lowest priced of the 3 products you chose. Then you do win this game.
Pass
Now,
it.
would you like to
Fuck off.
see what you're going to win?
No.
You don't want to? Why not? Well, why not, Vicky?
Isn't that good?
The 3 highest are.
Vicky, you're making me unhappy too. I want you to know. Let's show her prize. It's
Myself a
this
bomb
one.
ass salad.
A new piano!
Hey.
It would be hilarious if she actually won him.
The elegance of 18th century Italy, reflected in the classic
Winning-
lines of this
winning is a
beautiful
curse.
electric piano with its walls,
What
beauty,
are the
exquisite
things about
craftsmanship,
me?
and magnificent tone, complete with deluxe upholstered bench from Wurlitzer, a prize worth $1,285.
Now, you just thought she was unhappy before she saw the piano and burst into tears here. Now, Vicky, you can win that
You
piano.
value
You
a
must just be a little
woman
more
and you value
forceful,
her
a little more
future. Do not
positive.
ever
Pick
let
out
that
one of the
bitch
higher
win
priced
anything.
products.
It'll get to her head.
The Alpen right here, how much is that? It is $1.39. Now we'll put that in the high roll. And what else do you want?
The coffee.
The coffee?
Coffee?
All right. That coffee is priced at $1.19.
Oh my God.
And we'll put
A long time
Back
ago,
when
women used to
coffee
use
was
super
affordable.
powers at those panels.
This?
Has anyone
How
been to a
much is
grocery
that?
store recently?
That's 89 cents. Now that brought a moan from the audience. That is the lowest price we have up there. Now, if these other things are lower priced than 89 cents, you'll be playing the piano.
there's
Have you
nothing.
ever? Do you play the piano?
No, you're gonna lose.
You learn if you get the piano. All right. How much is this? Oh, the first one is 99 cents. How much are these other things? That's 59. That would have been all right. How much is this book? Well, that's $1.25. That's what you
Yeah,
needed
check
down
out
there.
the book.
But now, Vicky, I hope the rest of your life is much happier for you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
I hope the rest of your piano-free life is
Oh my
much
gosh, she probably would have killed over Terminator.
Johnny, who is it that belongs right there?
Bob, it's Betty Skelton. Come on down. You're the next contestant.
Red Skelton's sister?
Price is Right.
Hey,
Oh my god.
I'll skip to the red stuff.
She looks like she works at elementary.
It's nice to have you with us, Betty, and I want you
saw
to see the
Barry
next
was a
item up
lady,
for
and I
bids on the
didn't think
Price
it
is
was
Right.
It's a washer and dryer.
Yeah, Betty's an English teacher.
The Maytag Silver Anniversary Model Washer and Dryer, both simple.
No, she looks like a lady who works in, like,
laundering
front
all your
desk
fabrics,
of, like,
even washable woolens and double
Look at that
knits.
little
From
tiny,
Maytag, the
little tiny
dependability
dryer
people,
door.
and to the winner of this
I would love to
one.
have one of those
rain
because
barrels,
guess what? I
easy to use
guarantee you
fabric
both
softeners
those
and
washers
grips in the
and
wash
dryers
cycle,
still
and rain
work.
barrel
to this
goes
day.
in. Everything
I'm like
comes
the
out.
bullshit we buy.
Rainwater fresh.
The one
Betty,
that's
will you
made
give
to
me
break
your
down
bid
in
on that
3 years
washer
so you
and
can buy
dryer?
another one.
520.
Literally.
$520. Susie, what's your bid?
700.
Susie's bid is $700, and now Judy.
560.
Judy's fucking problem.
$560. Charlotte, what's your bid?
570.
$570. And
She
the
does
actual
look like
retail
she's,
price is $550, and Betty is out.
Oh, wow. $550 for both?
Up these steps and over here with me.
Rick, it was a different time.
I need a dryer. You want a washer and dryer, isn't that exciting? And now, Betty, things will get even more exciting because you have a chance to win this.
A new car! It's the Toyota Corolla 1200, the exciting small car for
Wow, that's what a Corolla used to look like. Holy shit.
transmission, reclining bucket seats,
adorable.
Look, Cassie's getting an education.
the new Toyota.
Look at how cute
What did
that
you say,
is.
Betty?
Nothing.
What did you say?
Here's what a
You
pink
did say
little
something.
fender.
Again.
What did you say?
I don't know anything about this.
You don't know
It feels
about
like
this
one of those
game?
cars
I'll
that if
tell
I
you all
try
about
really
it.
hard enough,
now
I can
we
tip
have
over.
9 pairs of numbers on this board.
Welcome
You
to
determine
early
the first
Japanese
two numbers in the
engineering.
price of that car. In one pair of numbers are the last 2 numbers in the price of the car. So you'll choose a pair of numbers. When I take it off the board, if I find a picture of the front of the car, it goes here. If I find a picture of the back of the car, it goes here. If I find a dollar sign, then I put it
My
up here and you
dream
win
car
that
is
much money.
a
Now, there are
78
4 spaces
Lincoln
here.
Town car,
If you
'cause
fill
I
these
would
4
love to
spaces
drive a
first, then you
fucking
win
boat.
only money. But if you
They were
fill
fun.
these 2
I
spaces
drove
first,
those.
you win
car?
that car, plus any money you have over here. Now, that's all you need to know, Betty. You just step right up here beside me, look those numbers over, and choose the first 2 numbers in the price of the car.
370.
This is back when cars were only 4 digits to buy a new one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that Toyota's about
$28. Is she
$400
right?
off. the
No,
lot.
but she won $28. We put it right there. Now what?
37.
37 on the top
$45.99,
row,
says Johnson.
and we have $37 more. And now you've won $65.
Shit, it's
45.
What's your next choice?
This is back in
22.
22. Now what do we find? We find the
Wait.
automobile.
Wow.
We put the 22 right down
Wow, it's
here,
even less
and
than what
now
you were
we look
thinking.
for the last 2 numbers in the price of the
Yeah.
car.
What's wrong with that Corolla?
45.
45.
No, no, you
right
see,
over here. And is she right?
Orange Hat, what
Well,
you have to
she's
understand
right,
is
but
back
she
in
wants
1974, our
$45,
money
and
was
now
much
she's
more
down to
valuable
10.
than it is now.
One space here, and
gold
this is
standard
your
at that
last
time.
choice. What is it?
I think we were off it by this time, unfortunately.
61.
61, and we
Yeah,
have
when do we get off the gold standard? Wasn't that's like
and she has now won
64, I wanna say?
$171. Now, what did she need? 18? No. 76? No, not 76. 54? And no.
Of course, it's the fucking 99.
Bye-bye, Betty.
a brand new car was only $2,300.
Wow.
I still think that's a little high on.
If you'd like to see The Price is Right in person, send your request
Okay,
along
let
with a
me get this
self-addressed
address.
envelope to Tickets.
You deposit from
Price is Right, CBS Television City at 7800 Beverly Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90036.
I've been talking with the studio audience here, and I've just found out that there are a lot of them out of town. How many of you are from out of town? Just raise your hands here. Joseph, where are you from?
Jesus.
Phoenix, Arizona. Where are you from, Harold? From Louisville, Kentucky. Sarah? Cincinnati. Oh, what's the matter,
I love
Jack?
how he connects with them,
No,
you
she's
know?
not. Are you her husband?
That's why they loved him on television
No,
for
you're
50
not.
years.
Jack has denied he's married to Sarah, but I believe they are. And where are you from, Elaine?
Damn.
Tennessee, Oklahoma?
He prefers Keiko in math class.
Yeah.
She's ill. She's from Tennessee, Oklahoma. And where are you from, Gene? Green Bay, Wisconsin. Margaret?
Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go.
From Egypt. Well, my,
You can
that's
get more
interesting
bang
to
for
have
your
all of
buck.
you here in our audience. And Gee, I can't take
It
any
gets
more
to the
time,
point
but
where you
it's
have
a
to ask
pleasure
the
have you
question,
all
is
here, and I hope
anyone
your
in that
friends will see you
crowd
back
still
home.
alive right
but
now?
now we have to
You
charge
lost.
on, Johnny,
Yeah.
and find a contestant because I only have 3 of them down here.
We're all
All right,
90.
Bob, let's find Paula Fleischer.
They were 90 minutes.
That kid right there. He's gone.
The Price is
That
Right.
kid's still alive. I guarantee it.
Oh my god, it's one of the Manson family members.
It's just 74. They all look like that.
Yes, Paula.
Yeah, right.
Where are you from?
Montreal, Quebec.
From Montreal. Well,
You
have you
mother-
watched The Price is Right
Nice.
up in Canada?
Yes, we win every show.
And win every time at home.
At home.
Well, let's see how you do here. This is the next
Oh, my
item up for
God.
bids on The Price is Right.
Chiconetti, oh.
It's a barbecue. A fully equipped Falcon gas grill for backyard or patio prepares complete meals on a single burner. Gives you true outdoor flavor with no charcoal mess.
Now, back
Is
there
it
in
bad that I
Montreal,
want one of those?
Paula, when you were at home, how much would you have bid on that barbecue?
$1. $1.
$169.
$169. Now we'll see how you do here. Susie, what's your
Try like
bid?
a 272.
200.
$200. And Judy's bid?
$289.
$289. And now, Charlotte, it is your bid.
$230.
$230. And the actual retail price of the barbecue is $304. Won herself a barbecue. Yeah, well, thank you, Judy. She's given me a nice kiss.
Oh, wow.
She's won a barbecue. Judy, where do you live?
Milk Park.
What do you...
I
Now, Judy,
find
you
the
remind me
name
of
tag
Vicky in some
very
ways here. You're
curiously placed.
kind of sobbing too. Are you just excited?
Boy, these
What do you
women
do?
are just
I'm a
really
dental
nervous.
And is this your day off?
Instagram didn't
Yeah,
exist,
and Are you
dude.
able to see the
Yeah,
prices right?
you see,
What do
it's
people
shocking because you're used to women who are just like overly obnoxious,
I've been
but
staying home with
women
my
did
boyfriend.
used to be humble once upon a
What's
time
the
in our
matter, Judy?
country.
Now
It's
you're-
shocking.
Are you
All right.
just nervous? Well, I have a nice prize that I'm going to give you a chance to
Where
win.
did,
Maybe
uh,
that'll make you smile.
Okay, I was gonna say, where did
All right,
Cassie
here's your prize
and
right here.
DS go?
It's a
DS is
game
something.
set.
They love the color yellow on their show.
From
Finished my
Eden
dinner.
Furniture of Santee,
This was the
California.
70s,
Soft
man.
yellow and
Hippie
white,
years.
table of high
Yeah,
pressure
about to say
laminated
everything
seat
was
and
yellow.
stain resistant. Chairs have shepherd casters, a quality game set filled with style and
Back
comfort.
when yellow
by
was
Eaton.
unisex.
And Judy, I want you to notice that we have two prices on this. We have a price of $710, but we also have a price of $500. Now, one of those prices is the right price,
hum
but
you
one of them is
hear
wrong. And you
is
will
the
win
tubes
that
in the
nice prize
television.
if you tell me the right price.
710.
17.
$710 she believes is the right price. And is she right or is she wrong? She is wrong. It is $500.
Y'all let her
But
stray.
Judy, thank you for playing double prices with us. Bye-bye. Well, we haven't found our big winner as yet, but someone just might win
$500
both
for the whole
showcases
set.
after this.
Well, only cheap.
Contestants not appearing on stage receive shoes from Carl's for the newest and quality
Hey,
shoe
you
fashion
still
for the
party
entire
gift.
family. Available at any of the Carl's shoe stores where fashion calls west to foot. Coming up next is the fabulous Price
And
is
just
Right
to
showcase.
answer the question, the U.S. left the gold standard
Well,
in
now, Betty, you didn't win the
1971.
car in our money game, but the prize
Really,
you won
3
up
years
on
after
stage
this.
was large enough for you to end up as our top winner of the day, and here you are on the
Did they
showcase. How do
spin
you
the
feel
wheel?
now?
They didn't spin
Great.
the wheel
You're,
at the time?
you're ready to go.
No,
yeah?
'cause it was
And
a
Vicky over
shorter
here,
format at
who
the
was just a
time,
little
so they
bit
only had
nervous in
3.
that first game and a little bit upset
get to
in the
that one
high-low
on the next
game and
one.
didn't win her prize. Still won enough to
Rub
end up
it
as our
in.
runner-up.
Rub it
You
in
feel
that you
better
didn't
now?
win.
A lot better.
Do you? All right. Now, each of you will have a showcase of beautiful prizes to bid on, and the one of you who bids closer to the retail price of your own showcase without going over will win all the prizes in her showcase. However, if you're the winner and you're less than
By the way, that
$100
audio
away
was on
from the
their
retail
end, not
price of
my
your
end,
own
so-
showcase,
Right.
Vicky,
I'm
what
kind
will
of
hum is
happen
the
next?
tube.
Yeah.
Right
Little
now,
louder.
You win both
Bob
of them.
and me are getting along quite
You're
well.
still
They're
not too happy, I don't believe, Vicky, but you're right. You win both of them. Now, Betty, as our top winner, you have a choice.
He likes
You
Betty.
can
I
look
don't
at
know
this
what there's
first
about
showcase and bid on it if you wish. If not, you may pass it to Vicky and wait for the second showcase. Are you ready to go?
Right.
All right, girls, have a look. This is the first showcase.
It's a trip to Tahiti.
Keep it, keep it, keep it.
We'll fly 2 of you round-trip economy from Los Angeles to the French Polynesian capital of Papeete. You'll spend 2 weeks at the famed Club
Remember
Mediterranean,
Americans
where
didn't
you'll
bother
enjoy 3
pronouncing
meals
things
per
in
day.
other
All
countries,
activities,
right?
sports,
Yeah.
and entertainment. That's
Remember we took
massage,
pride in
enjoy
that?
the warm South Sea waters all on your trip to Tahiti. And take
It's a
along
magical place.
luggage. Spacious
Remember that
luggage
shit?
by
About the
American
suitcases
Tourister.
in that trip.
Designed to go everywhere by land, sea, or air. Fiberglass reinforced construction, non-spring locks, foam rubber padded handles. The
Best of
strong
all, Betty,
lightweight
you can
luggage
feed a
by
man to
American
death with
Tourister.
this.
And to help you record your trip, this camera.
Yeah.
The Kodak Pocket Instant.
Remember back in the good old days when you could work at a grocery store and afford to take a family of 4 to Tahiti?
25mm f11 lens takes pictures
It's a
from
magical
5 feet
place.
to infinity. Comes complete with its own carrying case. It's
wow,
from the
and he
famous
has a little-
Spiegel catalog company.
black
Over
light.
50,000 quality items providing value, selection, and savings. Spiegel, Chicago 60609. And this showcase can be yours if the price is right.
Now, Betty, would you like to bid on this showcase,
Bid,
or do you
bid.
prefer to wait for the next one?
I'm going to pass it. I love the trip, but I'm going to pass it.
All right, Vicky, have you ever been to Tahiti?
No.
You give
It's a magical
you
place.
give me a good enough bid, and you're on your way to Tahiti.
She looks
You
like
know
she
where
hasn't
Tahiti
been
is?
past her city outside of this mobile.
This is
We'll
the
point you
furthest
in
she's
the
ever
right
been,
direction.
Bob.
Vicky, what is your bid?
I'd say
Like, LA is clearly an adventure for her. I don't think Tahiti's going to blow her mind.
And here's her bid right here. Now, Betty, you're supposed to wait for the second showcase. And Betty, this is the second showcase.
It's a trip
Well,
through
like I
the
said, we're talking
Price is
about
Right
74 here.
department store. And on the second floor, we find the home entertainment department and this. A unique stereo chamber chair and ottoman. Wow. It's from Lee West Corporation, and you love the way it sounds.
Should've took the trip, dummy.
Environment undisturbed by outside interference. Chair and ottoman by Lee West of Pomona, California.
Thanks.
Now, we're on our way up to
chair.
the third floor, and there we find the appliance department, which has such
I
items
wish
as
they would bring
ranges,
back
compactors,
elevator
and this.
Operators.
A refrigerator freezer. A side-by-side refrigerator freezer from world-famous Amana. A big 25 cubic foot side-by-side that's only 35 and 3/4 inches wide, with an automatic ice maker and all the other exclusive features found only in
freezer's on the
Amana.
side?
And
What?
That's exactly where I was thinking
Kentucky
too.
Fried Chicken, good chicken that your family can enjoy because a bucket of chicken is a barrel of fun.
And it has a
now,
KFC
the
dispenser in the
fourth
side.
floor. Yes, little girl, I've been doing this for years. We're now to the furniture department, and look at this. A beautiful sofa bed.
I mean, for a woman who never leaves her house, this is a luxury.
Durable Herculon with contemporary stripes. And what's in it for you? A comfortable queen-size bed from Bailey Schmitz, makers of fine furniture since 1892.
She's gonna love covering that
Finally,
plastic for
on
30
the
years.
last floor.
Oh, yeah.
We find the bath department. You know, it's incredible what they come up with for your home.
Yeah,
I mean,
they used to
take a look
cover
at
everything
this.
in plastic. You couldn't sit on the actual furniture.
It's a
All
sauna.
this plastic.
An authentic Finnish sauna built by the people who discovered sauna 2,000 years ago. The ultimate in fine craftsmanship with contemporary design from Sauna Distributors. And
I can put that in.
and every floor of this Price is Right department store can be yours if the price is right.
There it all is, Betty.
There it is, Betty. You could have went to
All 4 or
Tahiti,
5 floors of
but
it.
you're
You
too
look it
full of
over, do a
yourself.
little
So,
addition.
use a weird chair.
Quickly in your mind, and then give me your bid on this
go into
showcase.
sauna.
Would you please?
2600.
$2,600 is Betty's bid. Vicky's bid on her showcase is $2,100. Which one has bid closer to the retail price of her own showcase? We'll find out.
I don't think going to Tahiti is a good
when
thing
Vicky
for
was
that
playing the
woman.
pricing
Just
game
don't
during our show, I was telling her she
Damn.
should be more positive, and just
Seems a
now she
little
told
too
me something that her
impressionable,
husband
just
said
saying.
that might have influenced her. What was it he said?
You have 2 chances, slim or none.
Well, I'll tell you what, Vicky, I'm going to save you to last.
man.
We'll start up here with Betty. Betty,
why we
you've
were
given me a bid of
different people,
$2,600 on your showcase.
say that
the
to your
actual
wife.
retail price
Yep.
of your showcase is $2,428. You've gone over.
You blew
now,
it.
Vicky, so long as you don't go over, you win your showcase. Your bid is $2,100. Vicky, the actual retail price of your showcase is $2,168.
Nice.
And she won everything.
Yeah, she's double showcase. Yeah, holy shit.
And you won everything in both showcases. You will tell him all about this.
Yeah, take that, Dan, you asshole.
Your husband's not here with you. Well, wait till you get home. Bob Barker saying, good
Damn,
night, everybody.
dude.
He's watching from home like, what the
Yeah,
hell am I
honey, your
going to do with
odds are
that?
slim to none. Yeah,
Wait a
fuck
minute,
you,
did she
honey.
pull
This is
KFC
all
from
mine, and I
inside?
want a divorce.
Yeah. He's at home thinking, where the hell are we going to put a sauna?
It's 1974 America. He's thinking, who the hell's Tahiti?
Bill Godman production.
Heard it.
Figure it out when we get back from Tahiti.
That one there, Orient?
Brando, because he's often in Tahiti, or he was often in Tahiti.
That was actually good. That
It's
was
a
pretty
magical
brilliant
place.
there. I
Why
swear to
is
God,
it a
man.
magical place? I'm just curious. Why is it a magical place?
It's a reference to Ages of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you haven't seen the first, it was the original Disney show you had to watch to understand how the movies worked.
No, I never saw any of it.
Yeah, every time somebody mentioned Tahiti, Colson would go, "It's a magical place."
Yep. My favorite thing about that show is that they were supposed to essentially do like a crossover between the movies, and like literally the very first season, Marvel's like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna get rid of S.H.I.E.L.D. entirely. It's like, well, there goes the premise of our show in the very first season.
Well, they actually did do crossovers. They had Aftermath of Thor 2, and then they also had the Hydra bit where they talked about Captain America taking out the helicarriers.
Oh yeah, like I said, that was what they were doing. The only problem is that the Captain America Civil War Winter Soldier plot was that, oh yeah, S.H.I.E.L.'s been hijacked by Nazis, so now we have to get rid of S.H.I.E.L.D. And the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was like, we just started our show like 3 weeks ago, and now you basically blown up our entire premise right out the gate. So
I will say this though, what's her name? The one that played Quake.
Mm-hmm.
She actually was pretty good. I actually watched that. I didn't watch the last season. I watched it all the way up to the last season where they even mentioned Thanos.
I gave up. I gave up on that show. I think it was like after season 3, because that was around the time that Trump won, and then the writers started like having meltdowns in the show about Trump, and I was like, okay, I'm out.
Well, they also did have Ghost Rider in the show too, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Hispanic Ghost Rider, not the Johnny Blaze.
No, they even did. They actually did show Johnny Blaze in there.
Really?
Sounds like fan fiction.
They actually had Johnny Blaze go in and actually give him the power, or give that guy a power of the Ghost Rider. And it's like, yeah, that's not exactly how it works, but it's cool seeing him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because he just leans down and puts his hand on the dude's head, and that's when he just transforms into the Ghost Rider. And it's like, yeah, no, the Ghost Rider is literally a tormented spirit from heaven that got twisted in hell. So,
yeah, the British chick was pretty hot though. I put her over. I'm not sure about the other one.
But this was on network television. This wasn't Disney Plus, so you didn't have to. As far as I know, you had to keep up with everything. Did you?
Yes,
I was able to keep up with a lot of it, man. I mean, when they had the Ghost Rider, or when they had Quake versus Ghost Rider for the first time, and when he's like, I'm not the one that decides, and then transforms, it's like, okay, that's pretty good. That's fucking good. I like that, because a lot of people forget Ghost Rider is an anti-hero. He kills. And to bring an anti-hero into a superhero show, it's like, this is something that people will get behind.
Well, they weren't going to do like Punisher and Daredevil because those were already being taken by Netflix at the time. So they had to work with essentially what they had. They thought that, oh yeah, we'll do the Inhumans because we don't have rights to the X-Men. And then we got the X-Men. It's like, well, screw these assholes. We don't need them anymore. So anyway, back to The Price is Right, because that's what we were talking about before we got into this whole tangent.
Far better show.
Yeah.
We got one more episode of The Price is Right, and this one is based on 1975. Now, this one has more of the format that we're all used and accustomed to. So, if you like classic Price is Right, you'll be more accustomed to this. So, this one is so old, it even has a new custom the beginning here. So, I'll go ahead and play this one to get this started. Yep.
2 years later, or wow, okay.
This
Bob's
is The
ass.
Price is Right, 1 hour version, production number 1585. Take 1. Amen, brother.
They literally didn't think that this show would last like 3 years when they first started this.
A fortune in fabulous prizes may go to these people today on this super anniversary week special if they know when The Price is Right. Martha Alvarado, come on down!
Woo! That's someone's a boya.
Madeline Theising, come on down!
I mean, that would be something to brag to the grandkids. I was on The Price is Right.
No, it's actually a really cool premise to get that naturally has your crowd excited for the whole show, essentially.
Nancy Daniels, come on down!
Come on, Nancy.
And Pamela LaFever, come on down! You are the first 4 contestants on The Price is Right!
Did GTA use the font that the Price is Right used?
Yes.
Bull Rider.
I didn't realize that shit until now.
As you can see, the budget of this show has gone up significantly.
Pay attention, Cassie. It's important.
Thank you very much. Welcome to The Price is Right. Hey, we're doing hour-long.
I would act a damn fool like everybody else.
Of our third anniversary here on CBS. Now, in this business, 3 years is a long time, and we want to thank you folks at home for making it all possible.
That's what I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna ask on the last. Is like, who was the asshole who started the $1 bid? Like, who was that guy?
Funny if it turned out to be a woman instead.
Not had a man from Hurricane International. Now, contestants, I want your bids in dollars. Why? Because we round off our retail prices to the
Most of the
nearest dollar.
guys
That's
don't have
why
any
I
clue what
want
the hell the
one bid
grocery
from each of
prices
you.
are.
Hey, look,
That's why.
they needed ratings. They knew what drew at this time. They weren't looking for 70 porn stashes during this time period.
I don't know, Bob.
I'd do her.
I'm thinking it's $20. I ain't gonna take any more than that, Bob. It's $20. It's
$480. And Madeline, what do you bid?
$425.
$425.
That woman's 70 years old now. In the chat.
No, back then I would do it.
$490.
$490. And the actual retail price is $1,300.
Wow, that actually is pretty pricey.
Let me see some really nice stuff because I swear.
That guy was wearing
Apparently in the last 2 years, inflation
I
went
get
up.
that for the Prince
wearing an ass suit. See that? He had like the kerchief around his neck, like Fred from Scooby-Doo.
Offered on this show. Let
Wearing
me
a nice
show
suit
you what
there,
you'll
I like
end up
that.
with.
I was about to say the
You
same things. Like,
were
no
in
one's noticing
this
Bob Barker's Scarface suit that he's wearing right now.
Yeah,
Holy. There you go.
Hey, that's a nice car right there.
God dang.
I'd take it.
Complete
I
with
love
70s
that.
AM/FM stereo, steel-belted radios,
I have 73 GTOs. This isn't too far off from
And
my car.
Pamela says, I need a car so bad. I'm going to sell you this car for $1. Look at this. That $1 is all you need. Here are 6 more $1 bills to go with them. Does that mean anything to you? Do you know what we're going to play?
Yes.
What?
I have a terrible feeling.
What do you think we're going to play?
You're going to have those big numbers up on the board there.
That's right. Those big numbers are behind this door. Open it up for us, will you please?
This is what I've never
7 is the
heard
name of
of.
the game. The first
Lucky, you
number in
never
the
heard
price
the
of this
Lucky
car is
7
behind
name
that
before?
first door. I
No.
want you to tell me what it is. If you're right, you keep
I'm
all
just waiting for
$7.
Twinko.
If you're wrong, you give me $1 for each number you are away from the correct number. We go through all the numbers and the price of the car.
See?
At the end of the game, if you have $1, I'll sell you this car for $1. Now, what's the first number in the price of the car?
It's better if he sells it to her for $1.
She has decided upon number
She doesn't
6.
get the tax
Open
right,
that
or the
door
tax
and
issues
show
if
us.
she wins
It's
it.
a 7. That
Yeah.
cost you $1, and you have $6
Actually, we're not
left.
far off.
And I want to know the second number in the price of the car.
2.
5.
4.
Pamela has chosen number 4. Show us the next number, please. Ooh,
Oh,
that was
that's
expensive. That'll cost you $4. Now
Ooh.
let me
Damn.
see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, $5. How many do you have?
2.
Yes, poor baby. How many do you need to buy the car?
1.
So how far can you be off in the next number?
Not much.
I'd say a
Not
maximum
much.
of $1. Then you'd have to have the last number exactly right. But that's possible, Pamela. Smile. This is a happy show. Are you depressed?
Yeah, because we're going to lose the car.
Now, let's get you happy. Smile, Pamela.
I wouldn't want to pass up that Oldsmobile.
Ticky, ticky, ticky. All right, Pamela, what's the next number in the price of this car?
2.
9.
She says it is a 9. Let's hope for the best. Open that door. That cost you $8.
There we go.
There's a
Two of
punch
them.
in the
Go back
stomach.
to your seat and get me $6 more. But no. Thank you for being on the show.
And you know, that
Oh, my
sound
God.
is
Now, we'll
part of
have
the book as
contestant
well.
number 2 and contestant number 2 after
When
we
did they
have
get
this.
the spin the wheel thing?
Yeah,
Have we
no,
had
it
any-
hasn't come yet.
I think it's closer toward the end of the show, right?
Well, they do it twice, so one at the midpoint and one towards the end.
Bob, it's going to be Colleen Shat.
Colleen,
Oh,
you
murdered.
shot yourself.
I think she was being murdered there.
I have the hiccups, man. I can't laugh too hard.
We have not had anyone actually win.
Now, ladies, this is the next item up for bids, and the price is right.
It's a chair and ottoman.
Get her ass off it.
So if you ever wanted to know why your grandma loves Barb Barker so much, because even in 1975, that's how much I love Barb Barker.
From Corsican.
Colleen, you're going to start the bidding on that, so what do you say?
450.
300.
$650.
$650 is her bid. Martha, what is your bid?
500.
$655.
$5.
Oh, you
All right,
slut.
Madeline, give me your bid.
$695.
$795. You're all over bid. Now let me
You're all over. I told you.
$650. Let's erase
Fucking
these
go
bids,
200.
please.
They're
And you
all
must
over.
go lower than $650. Colleen.
450.
$450.
$450,
Thank you,
Martha.
Colleen.
$470.
$470, Madeline.
525.
$525, Nancy.
$550.
$550.
You went over the
And
maximum.
again, you've overbid. Now the lowest bid I have is $450.
You went over the maximum bid, and you weren't supposed to do the last one.
$450, Colleen.
$325.
$325, Martha.
$350.
$350, Madeline.
$375.
Oh my God, they're going up more.
$300.
$300.
Okay.
And I do not hear a sound. And the actual retail price is $400, and you are the winner, Madeline.
Oh my God! Yes, you. That's a prize, bro.
400. Oh, high-low again.
Fine, Madeline. You get this game, that's right. The high-low
I hope it's
game
not after
for you,
Labor Day,
Madeline.
because she's wearing
And Johnny
white.
Olson, you tell Madeline about these products,
Oh, it's
please.
August.
Rick, don't make me ban you from the show.
Black and Zach
It's August 31st.
fun-sized bags, delicious little bars with a big
Oh
peanut
my
butter
God,
crunch
Zach
mixed for the
nuts.
whole family.
I've
From
never heard
regular
of
to
those.
Clark
Forest.
Ice, the modern effective way to
I've
protect
never
your
heard of
woolens and
those.
furs year-round. Swing American with La
Okay, I've
Choy
heard of
chicken
that.
chow mein, meat
I've
and gravy
heard
plus
of
crisp,
that.
tempting Oriental
Chow mein,
vegetables
chow
like
mein.
delicious La Choy chicken chow mein.
I didn't realize
One-ounce
Clark
package of
made
Epoxy Bond
anything
Fast
other
Glue
than their
on a
bars.
straw. Epoxy
We
Bond,
actually
Epoxy Bond,
bought
the powerful
epoxy the
adhesive.
other week.
God,
Lady Borden ice
epoxy?
cream, the elegant premium ice cream with real
Yeah,
nuts.
it's
Oh,
like
there's another
for,
throwback
Yes, for a special family from
I've
Borden.
never heard of that.
And from all
for
beautiful
stuff, for
houseplants, use Liquid
construction.
Sunshine. It's ready to use, needs no mixing, found in
Liquid
leading
Sunshine.
supermarkets everywhere.
Now, Madeline,
Keep
right
out
here
of
in
the
the high
Richard
row,
Show.
we have 1, 2, 3 slots.
Liquid
I
Sunshine
want
probably
you
gives you
to choose
cancer.
the 3 highest priced products on this table, and if you do, you win
I
this.
thought the red M&Ms gave you cancer.
Motorcycles for the entire
Oh, I remember the cancer.
It's not if you get cancer, it's when.
Did you hear that those paper straws? give you
First
cancer?
for Mom and
I
Dad,
laughed
the
at that.
ME100Bs by
I
Indian.
had to use it when I was in San Diego.
Nah,
Just the
it's a
thing for beating the fuel
motorcycle,
shortage.
man.
The Indian ME100Bs are designed
And look,
for
they have
safety,
some
low
for kids,
maintenance, and
too.
Candy
top
bars.
Pretty
performance.
cute.
And for the kids, these mini bikes.
We didn't have to worry about the kids getting into
M5
To
is
answer
also
Duke's
by
question
Indian.
here, it was an
It
old
is
school
wheels
candy
and
bar that was
miniaturized
basically
controls
peanut butter
for
and
little kids and
coconut.
big ones too.
Yep.
The
They're still
M5A
around.
from Indian.
Are
This
they?
is a prize
I think the
package
packaging is different. They might have changed the names, too.
$1,016.
All right, Madeline, tell me what is one of the 3 highest priced products on the counter?
No, it's still Zagnut.
Okay.
I'll take
They're on the shelves at my grocery store.
The ice
Maybe they're
cream right
old.
down
I don't know.
here,
They could be from the
that
70s.
is priced at 85 cents. Up in the high row. it
75
goes,
cents
much
for a
to the
pint of
dismay
ice
of
cream.
the
You know how much
audience.
ice cream is right now?
How much?
$6.
The glue, how much is
Oh,
that
well,
glue?
I paid
that glue is $1.15. The audience likes that a little better. And now your third choice is...
I get these frozen muffins. $8.
Hey, Mephisto, don't
What's
give
your
us
third
crap
choice,
because
man?
America's cooler than your country.
Yeah.
Is this lady married? Yeah, dang it.
Oh, yeah.
What's
This
Remember,
here
it's
in the
75,
North
so
Ice
girls married
crystals.
much younger back then. And it wasn't like
I
a
mean,
big
she's
deal.
dressed
Well,
like
people
she's
died
married.
earlier,
That's
Tell me,
true.
Madeline, what do you want?
Yeah, she's quite a
You
looker.
want the spray down
Golly.
here on the end. All right. That is $1.19. Now, the lowest price we have up there is 85 cents. Everything else
she's gonna
must be less
lose.
than 85 cents for you to win all the motorcycles. This is $1.49, and you are through. This was 79 cents. This is $1.60.
Damn,
Thank you
peanut
very
butter
much, Madeline.
Zagna?
Bye-bye. We'll be back.
Pricey.
Following this
We have not had a single winner yet. I'm depressed.
Johnny O's
Yeah,
and
they're all
Coach,
married.
just stand there, get us another contestant.
Alrighty, Maria Valley, come on down.
All right, Maria. Come on, Maria. Break the curse.
Contestant on The Price is Right.
Damn, they actually had
Look
Tony
right over
Matana's
yonder
mother
at
on
the
here.
next
That's
item
crazy.
up for bids, and the Price is Right.
It's a microwave.
I'm just waiting for that awkward moment where someone will be like, wait, that's my mom.
First microwave oven with a memory. You can program it to cook, simmer, or defrost.
I know
as
that
simple as 1, 2,
jawline.
3. The Amana Touchmatic radar range.
And Maria, what is your bid on that oven?
$300.
$300 is her bid.
I hate to break
She
this
is
to you.
Maria.
$398.
I break this to you, but your mom probably slept with Bob Barker back in the day. You just need to accept it.
$460.
Or fantasize.
Martha, what do you say?
What happened to Neil Patrick Harris?
$465 is her bid. The actual
Yeah, Bob
retail
Barker's
price of that
dad.
oven is $595.
Yeah, it was in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, okay. We're going over a very interesting looking price tag.
Actually, I think John Lithgow was his father.
Thank you. And you know what?
He's from Reno,
During that
which is
last
a
message,
2
we
hours
were
drive
talking,
from El
and you'd
Paso.
been asking everybody for help, and that one you did on your own,
Very
didn't
nice,
you?
though,
And you
good
got up
area.
here on your own.
Oh,
and
hell,
now,
just let me
Martha,
know.
you have a chance to win this.
Oh.
A bathtub.
Your mom was so happy
By
to
Kohler,
win a
old-fashioned
bathtub.
comfort with new versatility. Antique red with polished gold fixtures. A new idea on an old theme.
I thought.
Now,
I
Martha,
thought the
there are
plants
two
were part of that
prices
thing
here,
that goes at the front of a ship. You
$1,455
know, like the
and
lady that did I was like,
$1,600.
whoa, that's one hell of a
You pick the right
bathtub.
price for that bathtub, and I'll put
That
you in
bathtub
that
sea monsters in the
bathtub,
back.
Martha. Now, which one is the right price?
16.
$14.55.
Oh, okay.
What?
I'm gonna say 1455.
You say
Same here.
1,600. All right, I hope you're
Or
right.
$14.55.
If we find $1,600 back here, that's your tub.
Yes! I love the tub!
Well, we were wrong, CS.
I love the tub!
Yes, use your shirt.
I've been practicing for years. It's been good.
That woman.
As soon as we finish this.
Oh, it's real time, Johnson. This is your moment.
What'd you say?
It's wheel time now.
Contestants
Oh,
not
yay.
appearing on stage receive
I mean, that woman that's now 70 years old that just won the tub, she's probably like, I got to kiss Bob Barker.
And seal a meal. It's revolutionizing
Probably
meal
more than
planning.
that,
Almost
too.
anything you cook can be put in a seal
Who's
a
the
meal
guy
bag,
that
seal it, freeze it, or refrigerate it.
like
Coming up
he
next,
hosted
our
the
fabulous,
Max
exciting
thing?
Price is
Are you
Right
paying for
Showcase
that?
Oh
Showdown.
my
Oh my
god.
gosh, there's a
Oh,
kid,
yeah, I know who you're talking about, but yeah.
We're at the halfway mark, and that means it is Showcase Showdown time. And the three contestants who have won their way up on stage are going to play a most
that's an ugly
interesting game
wheel.
on this wheel. And the contestant who wins the
Oh,
game
no,
that
I
we
don't-
play
I
on
don't
this
like this
wheel
wheel. I like
will
the
end
other
up in
one.
our showcase at
I
the
like
end
the
of the
big
show.
one.
Well, they didn't
Yeah.
have it
Showcase
yet.
could possibly
Yeah, the
have
one that goes
thousands and thousands of dollars worth of prizes.
Yeah.
Now, the
They
three
didn't have that
contestants who
one
won
yet.
their way up on
Yeah.
stage
Yeah.
are right here. Our top
That should be
winner
the-
so
that should
far
be
is
in the
Martha of
Smithsonian.
Bathtub Fame.
Bathtub
Number
baby.
2 is Pamela, and I want to point out she's smiling now without a ticky.
What the fuck?
Is Madeline. Now,
I bet he
girls,
wanted to
each
give
of
her
you
a
will have
ticky.
chance to spin the wheel. The idea is to come
That's
as
a
near
rumor.
$1 as
Yeah.
possible without going over it. If you go over, you lose.
They
I just
did a
want to
lot
guess
of-
You get
Madeline. Right?
one if you want to stop, or
They
two
I
made
if
want
a lot
you
of
Madeline to
want
win.
cracks.
most.
They made a lot of
Now,
cracks about
another
that.
interesting
back
I- I'm rooting for the tall bird.
If you get
I'm
exactly
rooting for the
$1
or
in
the,
one spin, or even
left
in
chick.
2 spins,
I'm rooting
you
for
win
Bathtub
a
Gin.
$1,000
Yeah, that one.
bonus. $1,000 in
Yeah,
cash.
they made a lot of jokes about how he got close to
As the top winner thus
100
far,
without
you have
going
the
over.
privilege of going last. And Madeline, you go first. Step right over here, please.
I mean,
there you go.
Bob should
You'll
really
find that
try
there are
dropping the
handles right
line.
back
Say
here
hello-
with which to
say
pull the
hello to
wheel.
my little
Give it a
friend.
big spin, and let's see what happens first.
Sounds like the Jeopardy. Or
Hey, that $1 coming up there.
Son of a bitch.
Easy.
First roll.
Girl.
Boy, you got it $1.
We should watch Japanese game shows.
Madeline, I must
Pretty
confess,
crazy.
I didn't really expect
We might
that
save
to
that for a
happen so
future
soon.
episode.
I don't happen to have $1,000 bill with
She
me. Will you
doesn't.
take my
She
word
has the
for it?
equivalent in math class.
I promise
That
to
would
have
be
it
Keiko.
delivered to your home within the next 10 years. Now, step right over here. No, you won $1,000. No matter what happens, you have $1,000. There's her $1
meant something
score
back
right
then.
there.
Delivered to your
Now,
home in the
girl,
next 10
what
years.
you must try to do is tie her, and then we'll have a spin-off. Pamela, keep smiling. Step over here. Nothing is impossible.
Pamela's just,
unlikely,
she's
perhaps,
just
but not
lost.
impossible.
Unlikely,
Not
perhaps.
impossible. Let's go. Give it a. There we go.
It's a wimpy spin.
She wants $1. That's what she wants. Now that's all right. If it stops on something else, she'll get her second spin. Now you have 50 cents. Now you see,
gotta hit
give it another
50.
big spin. And if she gets
knows
50
she's
cents,
lost.
it'll total $1, and she'll have a tie, and she'll win $1,000 too.
Well, yeah,
Get a
with
big
that
spin.
kind of attitude, she
You're
lost.
after 50 cents. That's what you want. She won't look. Hey, that 50's coming. No, it's going a little fast, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
85 cents. Too bad. That's $1.35. Thank you. Martha, come right
Look,
over to
Martha,
the
you
wheel.
got the
Now,
bathtub.
what you must do is
So-
tie Madeline at
I'm
$1.
gonna say which one.
And we'll have a spin off. Give it a spin.
Get the dollar. Get the dollar.
Wow.
Get the dollar.
What a spin.
It's coming
I think
up
she's
now,
used to
but
getting
that's all right.
dollars.
We'll get
Son
a
of a
second
bitch.
spin now. Now, there's 80 cents. Okay, what you want now is 20
Her
cents to
mother's
total
in the
$1.
audience, Jacob.
As if she doesn't know.
Well, all right. Give the wheel a big spin.
My
Don't
apologies
just give it
to
a little
Martha,
spin. Now give it a
you're
big
very
spin.
nice lady with your bathtub.
That was a
no.
sneaky spin if I ever saw one.
Damn.
Oh, too
Oh,
bad.
man,
All
you're
right, Martha,
overdead
thank
because
you
you
very
got-
much. And
you
now over here to you,
goddamn it,
Madeline.
woman.
You have $1,000 no matter
Dust
what happens,
my
and you'll be in the showcase at the end of the show.
Well,
we have another
$1,000.
half hour of pricing games. We have a
You
lot
know,
more
at least
excitement. We'll do
going
more
over
showcase
content.
showdown, and we'll be back after this.
Actually, looks like a big peacock with that thing back there.
Here we go into the next half hour.
NBC was
Price
watching
is
this like,
Right.
wait a
Who
minute.
is the first contestant to be called in this half hour?
Bob, it's going to be Margie Suzanka. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
Marcy Zanka.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Sarah Connor. Let's go.
Marjorie, will you agree that this is a nice way to start the second half hour?
It's out of sight.
Getting you down here was out of sight is right, and this is the next
Out
item
of
up for
sight.
bids, and the price
Get
is
a
right.
awesome.
It's a miniature golf course.
Ooh.
Brings back memories of Peppa.
Behold.
Loma Golfette,
My
a
stuff.
9-hole miniature golf course built into one unit for home use, indoors or out. Loma Golfette provides family recreational enjoyment without leaving the backyard. Watch it.
Whoa, whoa, oh! There's a string. There's a string.
Right.
There's cheating. There's cheating going on.
What the fuck is that?
I wonder if this thing is
Give me
included.
your bid on it, please.
I'm not high anymore, so I
This
know
game
I'm
is
not-
fixed.
$100.
What's your bid?
$100.
$100. Maria?
$300.
$300. Nancy?
$300.
$125, and now it's Colleen's bid.
$99.
75.
Say $99.
301.
301. The actual
Crazy
retail
woman.
price is $399. That $1
Son of a bitch.
Damn.
Yeah, you won.
Naughty,
You
naughty.
won it, and I don't think anyone is any more surprised than you are.
I wouldn't pay
didn't know the
$300
total,
for
so I
that
didn't
shit
know.
Well,
now.
you gave that one.
How much would you pay for that blouse?
And that did it for you, Colleen. And now, just look at what you
She
have a
probably
chance
paid
to
like
win.
$3.
A new
A
car.
new car!
Let me see that car. Hold on.
Let's
Oh
the
my
car.
God.
Nova hatchback.
She's gotta be Italian, right? Am I the only one who's getting that vibe too?
Yeah, Southern French anyway.
The Chevy Nova?
Yeah,
My aunt had one of those. That thing could idle uphill.
They had to change the name of the Nova in Latin America.
Now, Colleen, we're
Yeah, because it
Nova
means no
it
go.
doesn't go.
We have two decks here. This is a special deck. These
No
cards
room.
are numbered $200, $300, $400, and so on through $900 through $1,000. Now, what I want you to do is choose one card. That will establish how close you must come to the retail price of that car without going over in order to win it.
You
The
should
best thing you
remember
can
that
do is choose
Bob
the
Barker
$1,000
was
card.
part
Go right ahead and
Lakota.
draw.
You mean I have to tell you after I pick the card
I
how
believe
much
he
that
did
card's
grow
gonna
up
cost?
for a while.
Just do as I tell you, Colleen.
Oh
Don't
my-
try to confuse me.
You
One
fucking
thing
went
at a
there.
time. I can
Just
tell
do as I
this is
tell
going
you.
to take time. $1,000. She got the $1,000.
Son of a bitch.
There you are. Now, so far, Colleen, you could not have done better. Now, you must come within $1,000 of the price of that car without going over in order to win it. Now, the next thing I want you to do, don't ask a question, cut the cards.
Don't ask a question.
There you are.
can be very
Now, in
bossy
this
there,
deck,
Bob.
This is a standard deck. Each face card is worth $1,000.
Yeah, she looks like
Each
she
of the
knows
other
all about
cards
that
is worth The
gabagool.
number on the card in hundreds
Do
of
tell,
dollars.
Jacob.
A 5 would be how much?
You know why you're getting that
Don't
feeling? Because she low-key,
This
she
is
like
Bob
looks like
Barker's
Tony
quiz game
Soprano's
now.
wife.
How much is the 5?
Like fucking
$500. You're
40
right.
years
Now,
earlier,
the
though, than
aces are
from the
wild.
show.
You can make them anything you want. $1, $5, $23, $1,000, up to $1,000. Now, when you draw a card, that is your opening bid.
This game
on
is
that
way too
card,
complicated
and
for
then
her.
I will
Let's be
explain
honest here.
more.
Like, what are we
Draw a
doing?
card.
He has to come within
These women
$1,000.
didn't know how to do math.
That's like
Drew-
trying to
drew
shoot the
deuce of
broadside of a
diamonds.
barn with a
That's
battleship,
$200.
dude. She
We have
can't
$200
miss.
as your opening bid. Now, you must come within $1,000 of the price of the car without going over in order to win it. If you want to stop now, you can, or you can continue to draw.
Go!
Bitch, you keep pulling. You keep pulling.
Well,
Okay.
Keep going.
I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll.
well,
just-
now look. I want you to understand that. Well, now listen to me.
Okay.
You have bid $200 on that car. That's your bid. Each
That
face
makes
card in this deck is
because,
worth 1,000. Each of
I'm
the
pretty
other
sure
cards
AI
is
will
worth
advance
the
to the
number
point where
on
we'll
the
get
card
that happen.
in
And
hundreds
is
of
it
dollars.
bad that I'm actually invested in
In
this
hundreds of
episode?
dollars. The aces are wide.
No, it's not bad. It's
Now you
entertaining.
may draw another card and then quit.
I mean,
or
I'm
another
actually
and
excited.
quit, but you must come within $1,000.
It's not like it's
You got it?
Disney Star Wars.
All right, you tell me.
No.
All right, go ahead.
Too bad.
Okay. I'll take that one.
All right,
Pick a
you just
card,
take
any
that.
card.
And
Game
got
happened
5 of
50 years
spades,
ago
$500
almost, and
more. Your bid now is
I'm still
$700.
thinking like it happened
Go
yesterday.
on or stop?
Go,
Keep
Joe.
going.
Keep going!
I'll go on.
Go.
All right,
Keep
let's go
going.
on. And
So, like,
she
that
got a
card's gotta be at
deuce
least
of clubs.
$2,000.
$200
Keep
more.
Woman,
Keep
you
going,
keep going
for
until you
heaven's
get.
May I invite you to tune in
1,800.
tomorrow when you'll learn how this turned out.
Damn.
Bob Barker's
There
for
it
shade.
is, $1,000.
There we go.
Add that
All
in.
right.
You have $1,900 as your bid.
Oh, what am I doing now?
Just a moment. Now, just a moment. She said something you
Oh
didn't hear. What was it?
Never mind.
No, now, what did you say?
I said now I know what I'm doing.
Now you do know what you're doing.
Oh my
All
God.
right. Now,
Fucking figure it out.
That's what you'll hear.
Careful,
if-
you're
you got
learning.
it, Pauline.
That's what you'll hear
These are
in
your bids.
right in second term.
Jesus, what the
All
hell?
right, another face card. $1,000
Okay.
is $2,900. Now,
All right,
Pauline,
that's enough. You're done.
just a moment.
No more.
Now,
No
just
more.
a moment. Now, just a moment. I want to be sure she understands.
That's
Now,
not-
listen to me.
that's not
Pauline,
a
you've bid
$4,000
$2,900 on the car now. Now, you must come within $1,000 of the retail price without going over in order to win it. Now, do you want to draw another card or do you want to stop?
Stop.
The fact that they feel like this car is only $3,000 concerns me greatly.
Stop.
Okay, one more.
One
That
more
car
bid.
is at
Give me
least
the card.
3,700.
7 of spades, $700 more. Now, what's your bid?
Okay.
Okay.
$700 more. Your bid is $3,600.
Stop!
Stop.
For
Okay.
fuck's sake,
That lady
stop.
looks like a young
Pauline.
Carol Brady.
Your bid is $3,600. You must come within $1,000 of the retail
We
price of
never
the car
knew what
without going
happened
over.
to the first
The actual
husband of
retail
Carol
price.
Brady.
Oh. The
We can
actual retail
assume.
price
We
is
assume that she's a widow, but-
$4,215.
You won, son of a bitch.
Nice.
You win.
Yes, you won the car. You really don't know what's going on, do you, Paul?
I like how she couldn't even do the math to figure out that she won.
Yeah.
Madeline's backstage like, I got to showcase
Just a
the
minute,
bag.
Bobby.
This lady doesn't even know what planet she's on.
Come out here. Listen, Colleen, I want this audience to know that for a young lady who didn't understand this card game, she learned it mighty fast, didn't she? And she has a card approved. Thank you. Now, we'll be right back after this.
He must have tolerated so many people.
Oh my God.
Stay tuned for more pricing games and the
Freaking
fabulous showcases.
Bob, yeah, you're right, Rick. Bob Barker is probably one of the most patient people on earth.
That's moved by hand.
Well,
that graphic
never
was
happened, but-
moved by hand.
Johnny, we have room for a contestant
Amazing.
right there. Will you put somebody there for
wow.
me, please?
Certainly will, Bob. How about
Women
Philomena Stein? Well, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
Yeah, I guess it was more women.
Damn, this whole bag moved pretty well. Shit.
Howdy,
And he tells her
Philomena.
to come on down. He
Now,
comes on down,
contestants,
okay?
This is the next item
Well, I
up
mean,
for
it
bids
doesn't do
on
you
The
good
Price
if
is
you have like
Right.
a heart attack right afterwards.
It's carpeting.
Oh, the carpeting again.
I wouldn't pay anything for that
30
carpeting.
square
What
yards
is
of
that?
casino carpeting from
I have
Calcraft
that in my
Carpets, a
house.
replica of craps and black.
Look, that was the style of the 70s, man. At the time, that was like the coolest thing they've ever seen.
Game sets included.
It's like the race car.
I want it.
Waiting for your
Kids
bid.
I
play
feel
on
like
it.
it's something you'd walk into a casino.
$350, Marjorie.
800.
$800. Maria.
450.
$450. Nancy, give me your bid.
$1.
$500.
Well, it's 404 last
The
time.
actual retail price of the carpeting is $357, and Philomena bids on
Nice.
Yeah, because everyone else said 800. It's like for a rug. Are you guys on crack?
Philomena, will you come right up here beside me, please?
They probably
Oh, well, I
There's
go
probably,
Have you
for its
on
cost,
the
$100
I go past
would have been
drugstores
cracked into
sometimes
You have
rug.
a
and
chance
they're
to
like,
win this.
$200 off.
A chrome bed.
Chrome bed.
From Corsican. The Mercedes king-size bed in highly polished mirror chrome-plated steel. You'll sleep like a king in the Mercedes by Corsican.
Yeah, give the older woman a giant, like, you know,
And
love-making king
Philomena,
size
we have a
bed.
pretty exciting game for you to play.
We need
It's the
Maria to
shell
come
game,
back
right over here at
and
the end of the
switch
counter,
the
if you will,
bed.
please. Now, I want you to
Hey,
know
needs
that there
something
is
to
a ball
reinvigorate
under
an
one of
old
these
marriage.
shells. I'm going to move them around just a bit. What I want you to do...
Got the mirrors on top.
It has the ball under it, and
Well,
if
her
you
husband
do, you
will
win
tell
that
her her
beautiful
chances are
prize.
slim to
Now, you
none.
have to win markers here, and you put the chips by the shells, you see. That's how you
Hey, they
mark
could
them.
have had the
How do
Lucy
you win
and
them? Well,
Ricky
you
beds.
win them in a game that we play with these prizes, and you win these prizes too, I hope. Johnny, what's the first one?
It's Joe DiMaggio who says it's the greatest automatic coffee brewing system ever. The original Mr. Coffee and genuine Mr. Coffee filters.
Now,
Forget
Janice,
that
what's
he
the
was
You
price
can
on
buy that at
this?
Walmart for like $30.
$34. Now, Philomena, that price is wrong. Is the right price higher
You can't even
or
get a
lower
coffee
than
for
$34?
$34 these days.
Lower.
Lower.
Higher.
She says it is higher.
Lower, you
We're
dummy.
about. She's right.
Higher,
She wins a
40.
chip.
Wow.
Now,
What
put that
the
beside the shell.
I'm a
you believe
stupid
has the
one
ball
then.
under it.
Fine, fuck it. I'm
Right there?
stupid.
Okay, Johnny, what do we have next?
The luxurious Essex electric blanket machine.
Like I said,
washer
you have
with
to
automatic
think-
lighted
Easier to
comfort
produce now.
control, a
You have to think of the
quality
mindset
electric
of we were a
blanket
much
from
better
Essex
country
And
then.
show us the price, please. $65.
cost-effective?
Tell me,
Yeah.
is the right price
Lower.
higher or lower? Lower? She says it's lower. Show us. Nope, that's high.
Ah!
Johnny, how about prize number 3?
All right.
Yeah,
here's
if
John
Bob
Jeffrey
Barker
Silver
wanted to, he would
Washington
steal your
Ford.
girl. There's
Beautiful
nothing you can
fleet
do
with
about
handles,
it.
Mirror
So.
bright stainless
Right.
steel there, dishwasher
The price is always
Janice,
right
what's
for
this
Bob.
price? This one is $50. Now, is the right price higher? or
Higher.
Lower. Lower.
Higher.
That's what you see right there. That's right.
Lower.
You say lower? All right. Show us. And she's right.
Okay,
Now,
fuck you. I'm
there's
done.
another chip. Put it right there. Johnny,
Orange
you
had
wanna hear about
discovering
the
he's
last prize?
terrible at this
Alrighty,
game.
Sunbeam Dial-A-Style Mystic gives you lots of different
You know,
sizes
you
for
got
lots
like
of different
30
girls
to
without
40 to
changing barrel.
50
Sunbeam
years of
Dial-A-Style
inflation
Mystic.
and
And
I
here
think
we
the
have a
price
price
is
of
a
what?
recession on us.
Of $28. Now,
Judge
is the right
Whiteley.
price higher or lower
Higher.
than $28?
Lower.
Higher.
What is that?
I would have to say higher.
What it is? I don't know.
Johnny, tell her just the highlights again, will you please?
It's a Sunbeam Dial-A-Stick Mystic.
A Dial-A-Stick Mystic.
Yeah.
That doesn't explain it any better.
What
That
the
is.
Is that a
What
curler?
is that?
Is she right? Let's see. No, that was
damn.
high. All right, now, Philomena. If the ball is here, you win. If the ball
I
is
love
here,
that her
you
name
win.
is
If it's
Philomena.
here, you
That's a
lose. Or if
pretty
it's
good
here, you
movie,
lose.
Philomena,
Now, you stay right
with
over
Judy
here, if
Dench.
you will, please, so everyone at home can see right along with you. I'll just start right here and go up the line. How's that?
Okay.
Let's hope it is not here. It is not. That's good. Let's hope it is here.
I guarantee you her father's
is
name
not.
is Philip,
That's not so
and they
good.
just add
Now, do
Nina
you want to look
because
here
that's how
first
the
or here first?
a lot of
families name their
wanna hear?
girls.
Now, I've
if they
had
come
rather
out a
bad
girl,
luck. Would
they'll
you
just,
like to lift this, or do
like
you want me to?
feminize the father's
All right.
name.
Let's
They
hope
don't
it's
even
here.
feminize
He wanted a boy, so in order to cope, he just
Ball
kept
has
the
to be
masculine
there.
name.
There
Yeah.
it is. But Philomena, you did win some nice prizes. Enjoy them.
Philomena!
And of course,
Look
you
at
got
an ugly carpet.
Showcase
I mean,
showdown.
I would be so
Right now,
depressed
let's
if I
watch
won
this.
that carpet.
Damn.
Out into the studio audience and find ourselves another
be right
contestant. Johnny, who is it?
It's Charles Carroll.
We got a guy.
Oh my god.
Price is right.
It's an accountant. Everybody.
Yellow. Yeah, this is looking for
Hello, Charles.
Had to pull his pants out.
It's a pleasure to have you join these ladies in contestants row, and it's
He's
a
not
pleasure
gonna
to show you
bid
the next
anything.
item up for bids on the Price is Right.
I'm not gonna stereotype here, but he looks like he knows a lot about money. I'm just gonna throw that.
I like that suit, though. You see that?
Wilhelmina's
Crafted in
dreaming.
Maine, it's compact, space-saving furniture
Wilhelmina's
design. It's
dreaming
rollable,
about being in
foldable,
that
very portable.
scene with,
From Scanja,
Charles.
Sauna.
He looks like the guy you call when you're in jail, and then this I need a lawyer, then he shows up.
$450. Marjorie, give me your bid.
$750.
$750. Maria.
$800.
$800. And now Nancy.
It kind of looks like the father of the lawyer from Breaking Bad.
Price is $795, and Marjorie owns the song. And Marjorie has a chance to play a pricing game on stage.
Sorry, Marjorie just looks like a Janice. Is that just me?
Welcome to the stage, Marjorie.
You never know when you
And
see
Marjorie,
them
look
up
right
there.
over here, behind these doors.
So
is
she's
the
in
prize
Three's
that you have
Company,
a
is what
chance
you're
to
saying?
win. This is your prize.
A player piano.
Clear piano's the one that plays the music for you and you don't actually play. That's
From the
cheating.
Aeolian Corporation, the Sting. An electric manual piano, just the thing for those who love music but who are just learning to play. Bench and 12 music rolls included. The Sting from Aeolian.
As Margie was saying, her heart is just pounding, but I'm so proud of you. It was pounding in time with the music, Marjorie. Now, to win that piano, you must tell me the price of the piano within a range of $150.
You can tell Josh
It
just
is
showed
more
up.
than $2,100. It is less than $2,700. Now, this $150 rangefinder will move up that scale.
Oh, well, come
and
on
when you
the-
believe
come
the
on in
price
the
of that piano
the show
is
here
between
and
this
join
arrow
us
and
this
this one, any place in this colored area,
What's the
you
Price
press this
is Right?
button all the way in, you stop the rangefinder,
Yes,
light up the
I know
price,
you're
and
not,
if
but
you're
you
right,
sound
you
slightly
own the
drunk
piano.
right
Now, step over by the board
What?
and don't press
You
the
sound
button until you
slightly
want to
drunk
stop the
at this
rangefinder. Gentlemen,
Oh,
let's start it on its way up the scale.
I'm on camera. So it's the difference.
Music is kind of creepy here. Hit the damn button, girl! Hit the button now!
Fucking hit the button, you dumb bitch!
Hit it now!
Oh, Jesus, you went over.
Boy, did she stop it. Not only did she stop it, I think you probably stopped it for all time. We'll never have the range again. Now, if that price is from here to
She's
here,
only listening to Rick.
I didn't hear it. You win. Light up the price. Oh, it's clear up there.
Oh, wow, it was even higher.
Most contestants do stop it too soon. on
Pianos
this
are
game.
always really
Thank you, Marjorie.
expensive.
Now we have another showcase showdown for you. Lots more excitement after this.
I would never win at The Price is Right.
Well, yeah.
It's time for our
I'm like Happy
showcase
Gilmore, the
showdown,
price is
the
wrong,
showcase
bitch.
showdown that will decide which contestant goes into the showcase. The second contestant for the showcase, that is. Now, here are the three contestants who won their way up on stage during this last half hour.
And only one
Our
of them
friend
won.
Colleen here, who won the car in the card game, is the big winner of the second half hour. Marjorie is second, and Philomena is third. Now, you three watched closely as we played the Showcase Showdown the first time, did you not? Yes. Philomena, there may have been someone, because we're on for an hour today, there may be someone who has just tuned in. You tell everyone how we play Showcase Showdown.
Okay, you push, you push down, and if to come a one, you win $1,000.
Yes.
Yep.
He has to fucking guess.
Man, stop doing her
Compete
dirt,
for
bro.
the showcase.
I mean, she's not
the last
technically
showcase.
wrong.
To be in the showcase.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, if you just tuned in and you know how to play the Showcase Showdown, I'm very surprised. No, that was a
Oh my God, dude, did you just
Now,
see
Colleen is
he
top
get
winner
canceled
in
for that
hour,
shit?
So what does she get?
Now they
It's a
should be
different
canceled
time,
for that
man.
shit.
Yeah,
This is
Bob
Margie.
was
This is
ruthless
Colleen
back
down
then.
there. She gets she gets to see how well you do and how well
he
Margie
wouldn't
does
because
before she has to spin.
he's
That
part
could be a little
Native
advantage, you
American,
see.
so that
All right,
would
now,
be
Philomena,
racist.
you step over there, and you know that you get $1,000 if you get exactly $1. Let me just explain quickly, though, that the idea is to get $1 without going over, and each of them can spin a maximum of 2 times. Away you go, Philomena. Boy, you did watch this the first time because you gave that one of the biggest spins we've had.
Philomena's a
And
tough
where
old
is it going
bird.
to end up? 85, 30?
Oh, no, go
30
again.
cents. All right. Now, you have 30 cents, and you can stop, but you want $1 without going over. I mean, that's your hope. You
Go
wanna spin
again, Philomena.
All right.
Yes.
Give it another spin.
Knock it out, Philomena.
What she really wants now is 70 cents. To
We
go
just
with that
passed
30
the
cents.
2-hour mark, and
Win
Rumble only just
$1,000.
now notified people we're going live.
And she got 35 to go with 30
That's
cents.
65.
So she now has a total of what?
65.
You're right. Step right
Wow,
over
somebody's
here.
good at math.
And
Holy
with
shit.
65 cents,
Oh,
you
that's
are
sad.
currently
Better
leading.
than me.
There you are. All right,
Philomena's
Marjorie,
just
it's
having
your
a
turn.
bad
Step
day.
over to the wheel. You have to beat 65 cents to take her place over there. Away you go.
Don't get greedy. You get 70 cents, just take it.
Oh, I know what
Round
this
it
sounds like. This sounds like that show
And
with no whammy.
Big numbers there. Look at this. Look
Oh,
at
yeah,
this.
you did.
95 cents. Now,
Press your button.
I love it.
bye, Philomena over there.
Fucking bye.
What she's saying is, get out of there, Philomena. No, I'm not saying that, Philomena. No.
But no, you
It'll
have
make
to
me laugh.
leave because you
Now,
lost.
you can spin again.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I think
I
you
like
would.
that.
All right. Now, you go over
I
here,
like that.
and you have 95 cents. All right. Now,
Is it
you
a
step
fight?
down if
Fight,
you
Right,
want.
Felicia?
now
It's
you
a fight,
rock
And
this.
Felicia.
Marjorie is the leader, and Marjorie is the one you must beat, Colleen.
It's like, no, you have to leave now.
Philomena, I don't want to hurt your feelings, and I don't want you to leave unhappily, you see. But you really do have to get out of there. All right, now, Colleen, you
Get
come
out.
over here,
Oh my god.
and you have to
Bye,
beat 95
Philomena.
cents. Let's go.
Bye. Bye. It's like fucking
There you are.
what?
Sit right up here. You can see it. There you are.
That was a
See, there, the
70s
number.
version of Bye Felicia.
You get $1 there exactly. You win
That'd be hilarious.
$1,000. What did you get? You
Damn.
got 30 cents.
You gotta spin
Okay,
again.
obviously you should spin again
You have
because
to.
you must
Yes.
beat 95. If you get 70, you still win $1,000. 30 cents was your first
70,
spin. How much is your
70,
second
No
spin?
whammy.
70,
No
Second
whammy.
spin
70,
is
70, 70.
Oh,
10 cents.
God damn
And
it.
that is not quite enough. You got
You
40
got the
cents,
car,
but
okay?
Back in New
Marjorie,
Jersey,
you
you
got 95 cents, which puts you in the showcase, and that showcase is next after this.
This is the highlight of
It's showcase time, and the
Whoa,
top winner in the
she's
tall.
showcase
Oh,
is
Hillary
Madeline.
Clinton
The
versus,
runner-up in the
I don't know,
showcase
Jeb
is
Bush.
Marjorie. Each of you will have a
Be
showcase
nice
of
to
beautiful
Madeline.
prizes to bid on. The one of you who bids closer to the retail price of her own
Everyone's
showcase
wearing
without going
white.
away wins all
Bitch
the
is
prizes in the
fucking
showcase.
enormous.
But if you are the winner
Everyone's
and you're
wearing
less
white.
than
Hey, it's
$100
Sigourney
away from the
Weaver.
retail
Shut
price
up.
of your own
Well, she's
showcase,
in
you
Nielsen's
win
probably
each and
5
every
cents.
prize in
No.
both showcases.
No.
Now,
You
Madeline,
know that
this is
woman's
the
giving
first
birth to some
showcase.
football
I'll pass it to
players.
Marjorie. Marjorie, this is the first showcase.
Your showcase begins with this.
That kid's gonna be
camera.
6'9" and 13 years old.
Especially that they used to beat him back then.
Movie camera. The Kodak movie camera that lets you take movies without movie lights, indoors or out, without any adjustments. Just
be
press
sure
the
not
button.
to give it to Bob Craig.
And you can
Holy
use this
shit.
camera to take movies on your trip north to Montreal, Canada.
Montreal. Wait, wasn't she from Montreal or was that somebody else?
No, that was another chick.
From Los Angeles to
Ah,
Montreal for one
that would have been
visit to the
such a
charming
fucking
Queen
rad
Elizabeth
showcase.
Hotel.
It's like,
Your
oh,
stay
okay, but
awaiting
she's
your
from
arrival in
Montreal. We
While
can't
there,
just
enjoy
send
not
her
only the
back.
luxury
And this was Montreal before it went to shit.
Right?
Restaurants with dinners each night.
This is
From
Montreal
jet
pre-Trudeau.
south to Rio.
Ooh, and they're going to send it to
Ooh.
Rio now.
Now that would be
Spend 1
a good
week in
3,000
Brazil at
bucks.
the Intercontinental Rio Hotel. Relax in the sand at Ipanema Beach and enjoy the nightlife in South
Hey, it had a good
Capital
run.
City, Rio. And take along luggage. Spacious, roomy luggage by American Tourister. Designed to go everywhere. Fiberglass reinforced construction, non-spring locks, foam rubber padded handles. The strong, lightweight luggage by American Tourister. But don't unpack those bags because after your stay in Rio, you'll board the next plane to the heart of the Western culture, Paris.
That changed.
Yes, it's on to Paris.
Well,
one
she should
exciting
learn French.
week of the luxurious
You know,
Paris Hilton, where
you
you'll
got to
find
speak it in
contemporary
Montreal
luxury
and Paris.
mixed so tastefully with Gallic charm. See such famous sights as the left bank, the River Seine, and Paris's beautiful cathedrals and museums. And finally,
recommend the
on the
Moulin
last
Rouge.
leg of your trip,
I had a
we'll
great
fly
time
you
when I was
to the
there.
mysterious
That's with
East
chicken and-
Japan.
Holy shit, they want
I'm not gonna lie, for 1975, that'd be a pretty lit tour.
Spend 6 nights
Yeah.
and 7 days at the Tokyo Hilton.
I know
where
Cider
Japan
wants to
old
see
and new
Keiko
come
in math
together in a
class.
setting of luxury.
I love that
The
shit,
hotel is a
dude.
center
That's
for
awesome.
events, social gatherings, international meetings. Take a stroll in the Japanese garden by day or down the famed Ginza at night. From Japan,
get
you'll
Emperor
return
Hirohito
home
to
to Los
apologize
Angeles.
for the war.
And this four corners of the world showcase, trips through the cherry blossoms of Japan, the excitement of Paris, the beaches of Rio, and the natural beauty of Canada.
That's like,
And beyond,
that's like
if
fucking
the
five.
I mean, in 2023, you pretty much get robbed in every single one of those places now. With the
No, not
exception of
Tokyo.
And I want to
Not
know,
Japan.
Madeline, are you going to bid on this,
Tokyo.
or are you going to pass
Fucking
this
Canada
showcase
will
to
shoot
Margie?
you.
I'm gonna take
In
it.
Paris,
You
they
are,
have
yeah.
a riot.
You win this
burn-
showcase,
burn
we won't see
everything
you
down.
again for years with all these trips. What do you bid on?
Damn.
$5,000.
Give me your
Yeah.
bid, Madeline.
Okay, 55.
$5,500 is her bid.
Yeah,
and
that's
now,
heavy.
Marjorie, I have a showcase
Everyone,
for you.
ooh.
And Marjorie, this is your showcase.
Your showcase is a trip down Main Street.
Yeah, right?
Main Street, USA? You're not going
And in
on
the
the
first shop,
I've
there's a
stayed at a
dishwasher
Hilton.
Ray.
They're nice, but goddamn.
Hey, you don't get to go to Rio, but here's a nice couch.
Ideal for low-cost
Well,
remodeling.
you probably have a car in this
30-inch
one,
range and gated
but they had a
dishwasher
trip
plus
in the
good
last one.
full-size appliance.
No, I
And in
like
the next
that.
window, we find a sofa. From Jameson, this woven velvet sofa
disappointed.
features loose pillow back
She's
cushions,
so mad.
background wrapped polyurethane seat cushions,
Yeah.
and resilient front edge spring design for comfort from Jameson. And a little further down the street, what do we have? A gazebo.
A gazebo! Yes!
A 6-foot wrought iron gazebo.
From Corsicana.
I returned here yesterday
Can
when
you?
the living was
Of course
easy and
you
people
can.
knew how to relax in their gazebo,
You
listening
want
to crickets and
gazebo?
watching fireflies. A gazebo by Corsican. And finally, in the last shop, there's a home entertainment center.
That's now
A
worth
25-inch
less than a
Zenith
buck.
solid-state
Yeah.
Color
Zenith,
home
oh
entertainment
my
center with
God.
remote control.
Holy
TV,
shit, that's
AM,
cool.
FM stereo and built-in 8-track tape player Zenith Avante.
Ooh, an 8-track.
Built-in 8-track tape player.
In your
Hey,
Oh,
new
there's-
card
there's
too.
the car.
Okay.
All right,
That's
55.
an upgrade to the average quality of life.
GT coupe with a big rear door, handsome counterbalance arms that help let you
All right, I'll
one
say at
man.
least
Equipped with raised white
6,500
leather
for that one.
tires, deluxe bumper and guards,
Yeah, you've gotta count the
GT
car as
package, and
well.
140
Yeah, that's what, or the
And
car
this
is
trip
like
down
around
Main
4,000,
Street
the
can
rest
be
of it's like
yours if
2,500.
the price is right.
Marjorie, give me your bid on this fabulous showcase.
Going by 70s logic.
$9,000.
$9,000.
Damn.
Way over, woman.
$9,000.
You
Now,
went
Madeline's
way
bid
over.
on her showcase is $5,500, and the actual retail price of her showcase is $6,937, a difference of $1,437. Marjorie's bid on her showcase is $9,000. Marjorie, the actual retail price of your showcase is $8,413. You're over, you win.
Yeah. Oh, God, Madeline wins the trip.
$8,337 worth of prizes. Bob Barker saying,
Good on you, girl.
everybody.
Hillary Clinton won for once.
No, she won in 2016. We all know that. Come on. Now,
And there you go, guys. That was a very fun trip down memory lane for a couple of fun episodes with The Price is Right. We actually got into it there that last
Yeah,
episode.
we
That was
It's always exciting watching people win stuff.
Oh my
I like
god.
Madeline.
I haven't
I
watched
mean,
a
like
show like that
win
in years.
stuff
And it
in
feels
like a
good.
wholesome kind of way.
you know what's
Yeah.
interesting? Cider, you could go with Madeline and then meet up with Keiko when she goes to Tokyo. So, I mean, you got the best of all worlds
Madeline's
there.
not
Well,
that
Madeline's
kind of lady.
yeah, Madeline's probably like 90 now, so I'm not sure if that's it.
Damn.
What
Just
about
invent
Keiko?
time travel.
hmm But hey, maybe Madeline has a granddaughter, so I mean,
There
you
you
have to
go.
look at the bright side there, right?
Yeah, we
right.
could recreate. Yeah, we could recreate it. Let's hit Montreal, Rio, Paris, and Tokyo.
I don't know. I feel like the 2023 version of that trip might not be as exciting as the 1975 version of that trip.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Tokyo
Paris
is a clean
recently?
city now.
Yeah, have you seen Paris recently or like Rio?
You go to France, you're probably gonna fucking end up dead because of all the riots.
Hell, I mean,
Yeah,
Brazil's
why?
pretty rough now. You got to getting robbed from people on motorcycles with like Mac 11s and stuff. So, yeah,
Freaking Rio, you'll probably get freaking trafficked. Fucking where else? Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah,
probably get run over in Shibuya Square.
Tokyo, I think will be fine. The only thing is, the trip now for Montreal, you'd have to stay with Justin Trudeau for like a week.
Yeah,
that would be part of your. That'd be part of your prize.
You get arrested for misgendering someone.
Yeah. But, oh, aren't you a cool cat or a cool guy?
Mm-hmm.
I identify as a dog, bitch.
It's like, sir, calm down. What do you mean, sir? It's like,
I mean, I was gonna say something else about Japan, but let's just say Oppenheimer already said it.
Yeah, they got enough problems to deal with right now.
You'll probably get nuked if you go to Japan. Oops.
Oh, wah, wah, wah. Well, that was a fun.
is determined to kill your stream tonight, Jacob.
Exactly right. Yeah, the Fisto has been to Paris recently. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Hold on, do I have a button for that?
Fuck.
Let Paris burn. I mean, what?
No, no. We should.
Man, they already burnt down the freaking one of those Parisian churches with a lit cigarette.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Notre Dame.
I mean,
yeah.
France has already
fucking burned
Eiffel
down Notre
Towered
Dame.
its own people, so.
Dude, somebody literally tried to get flesh-colored tarp to put over the Eiffel Tower. However, they got arrested before they could pull it off.
Good.
Well, I'm just glad that they decided.
Would have been hilarious if they had.
They decided that they wanted to put a swimming pool on top of Notre Dame after it burned, and for once the French actually said no. That was too stupid even for them.
They'll probably do something with it like they did with the Louvre. You know, like the
Louvre. What? It's called the Louvre.
No,
it's the
Louvre. Louvre.
No, it's the Louvre.
Thought you were referencing a loofah, but I digress.
Yeah, that's because she doesn't know how to talk.
You know, when I went to the Louvre, we could only say we.
Shut up. And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and sign off and get on out of here. So let's go ahead and give the floor to our panelists here who joined us for a nice evening of watching old episodes of The Price is Right. We'll start off with Orange Hat. What you got coming up, my friend?
Well, I'm no longer doing mystery reviews. Those have finally had their finale. I'm doing instead Tuesday theme streams. Sunday. September is going to be Batman movies. So other than that, I'm still doing, I got one more Monday Mayhem with the Sharknado movies, and Sunday, because I got a little too baked last Sunday, I got my Infinity War stream with the Hack Crew. And other than that, not much else, except for videos here and there.
All right, then. Rick, what you got coming up, my bud?
Well, I finally finished my Summer Under the Stars series. Thank heavens, it was exhausting. So now all I've got are just more reviews, my weekly haiku, and I've got my ticket for Equalizer 3 already. So,
Ooh, nice. I'm gonna see if I can go see that too.
Can you see it before Friday?
Oh, I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it.
I wasn't talking to you, Rick. I was talking to her.
So, like, you guys literally have to watch it the very day it comes out. Like, that's
Well, some people can watch it the night before, like I do. But this guy over here probably has like some minor league baseball game that he has to go to. Or
no, I have
event.
work, so on Friday I'm off. And I did check
Thursday.
I did check out Equalizer 2 from the library. So I hope to watch it because don't remember watching it. I don't remember. I know I saw the first one. I don't think I saw the second one.
The first one was a lot better.
Yeah, he's got hood speak. He says library.
Okay.
Library.
The movie literally comes out Thursday. What the hell? At least give people some time. Sheesh.
Well, there's people who watch it even before Thursday if they get off their ass.
There are people that don't go to see it at all.
We don't know how though.
I
Hey,
see you have
everyone.
some links there.
Yeah. So I have 2 lovely things for you if Jacob will pull up my links.
I mean, they're there already. That's already in the
Yep,
chat.
okay.
So.
I'm not logged in tonight, so I started a Substack, and you can give me money that way if you want, and that's nice. Or you can just, you get emails from me that way with like blog posts and stuff. I mentioned Jacob in one of the ones that I'm working on, so subscribe for that.
All right.
And then I have my Discord comic. So.
Yes, just give her
Shut up
lots
and
of
give
money
her
because she
money.
needs it.
Oh well, you could give it. You've given more money to worse people for stupider stuff. So this is
That's a perfect pitch point there. Cider, what do you got coming up, my friend?
I'm back on the Dank stream. And yeah.
Is there another show on Wednesday night you may be back for as well?
Oh right, and the Black Pill stream tomorrow night. I don't know how that's going to go because I missed it last week. So you have to tune into what horrible things have happened this week.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, John didn't completely tank the show last week, so I think that's an improvement. Yeah,
I don't know. I was asleep.
You could though. And then Cassie, what do you got coming up?
Well, just started playing Sea of Stars. Literally, that was what I'm doing just before this live stream. So if you want to check that out, really cool. 2D art style game. Awesome. Definitely check it out if you're interested in that. And this Thursday, Too Real for Feels podcast on my YouTube channel, Cult Classic Cage. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'll probably stream on Kick sometime, either maybe tonight or tomorrow, whatever have you. Definitely check that out. Cult Classic Cage, Kick, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right, then passing you guys back over here. Yeah, new camera angle. I'm testing it out. I don't know how long it's going to stay like this, but we can keep it here for now. But we got coming up Friday night. We're going to be reviewing The Equalizer 3 at 10 p.m. Eastern time. That should be a fun stream to talk about the new Denzel Washington movie. Black Pill stream tomorrow night is going to be, I'm pretty sure we can talk about Angry Joe, because Angry Joe is still tweeting about some article that we did about Star Wars that he thinks that he's dunking on us for, but of course he just looks like a giant ass clown on Twitter at the moment, which is nothing new for Angry Joe, so we'll talk about that tomorrow. Monday night is our next episode of the Bible Lens podcast. Last night we did an episode on the Whore of Babylon. So this week we're going to be doing the pagan origins of Catholic heresy. So that's going to be a very, very interesting topic on a Monday night. And then next Tuesday night we'll be back on our normal format because, hey, look, as much as I want to, we can't just sit here and watch Bob Barker episodes every single week moving forward. We got to go back to what we usually do. So back to the normal channels next week. And oh boy, I can only imagine what this is going to be. What is this?
You remind me of this meme.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Back to
This new camera angle is reminds me of this. It's funny, different cameras around the place. You gotta do this, man. You gotta get like 3 or 4 extra cameras just put them around.
Yeah, right.
Change
Every time I take one out, another one pops up.
Exactly. What the hell? Who put these in? I love it.
This is insane.
There you go. That's
So-
all I could think of the whole stream. I'm sorry.
Like I said, this one's I don't even know how long this one's going to hold up here. Probably for a few more weeks, so enjoy it now while you can. But
It's like, no way. It was the resonance guy.
I know. I feel like what's the guy's name? Wilson from Home Improvement. Like basically talking, but you can't see my mouth moving.
Yeah.
There you go.
Protecting his identity from the facial recognition software.
Jake Wilson.
Yeah, we got to protect ourselves against the AI, don't we?
Beats
So,
face tattoos.
Yeah, that too. To thank everyone who joined us tonight: Neozoic, Vanya, Duke Nukem, Alex vs. Evil, Doba Fett, Spencer, Zeo Dozer, Mephisto, who joined us here tonight. Kate, who always joins us for our streams here. Who else do I have? Drax the Clown. We have Finatra joined us here tonight. Who else do we got? I want to make sure I get everyone before we head out of here. John, Josh, obviously, I guess I gotta give him a shout out. He was technically here, so don't make him feel left out. JEC, who's also here with us tonight. Derp Nader in the chat with us. Rico joining us for another stream tonight. Mighty Orbots joining us here, and then I'm gonna make sure. I think I got everyone, but just in case.
Steve Kenobi.
Yeah, Kenobi too. I guess you could throw him out there. But yeah, that's pretty much everyone. So legally, do I really have to? I don't know about all that. But thank you guys for joining us here for another stream. Hopefully we'll see you on Friday night, Monday night, or next week here on the program. We're hitting the outro. We're getting out of here. Good night, everyone. Adios. Goodbye. Wave to the crowd.
Bye.
New camera angles.
It's over. Go home.
Get the hell out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Okay. Get out! Get out! You get